Chapter 754. Within the City Leader's Residence. Your Majesty Luo Feng, the city leader has ordered long ago that you may enter upon arrival. The group of undyings at the entrance didn't stop Luo Feng. Luo Feng smiled and entered. Looking at Luo Feng's silhouette as he entered, the group of undyings began to discuss. Entering without permission, other than those few, only the city leader's direct disciples are allowed. Don't tell me this Luo Feng has become a direct disciple? Very likely. The city leader's order was just sent not long ago. It should be to confirm Luo Feng as a direct disciple. Luo Feng stood in the courtyard before the primal chaos ruins. He took a step in. Rumble. Time and space changed. Luo Feng appeared on the vast ruins continent. Trillions of corpses littered the ground. In the distance there was a silhouette sitting crossed-legged. Teacher. Luo Feng walked up, careful not to step on any of the corpses, bowing respectfully. The silhouette slowly stood up. Turning to look at Luo Feng, that savage and terrifying face, his eyes were still warm like jade. The primal Chaos City leader smiled and nodded. You've completed the first level? I've just completed the first level scale armor. Your disciple immediately rushed over to report to teacher. Luo Feng said respectfully. Your 9th senior brother said if you're quick it'll take half a year, slow it'll take 3 years. I didn't expect you to succeed just 3 months after he reported to me. The primal Chaos City leader nodded. Unleash the first level before me. Yes. Luo Feng said respectfully. Actually, these 800 years of training, even though he had completed the first level scale armor, in truth he had only comprehended the first part of the origin laws. As for the first scale armor's usage and battle techniques, he hadn't had the time to learn a single one. Origin law comprehension was one thing, using the battle techniques was also very important. Luo Feng wanted to meet the primal Chaos City leader earlier, hence he didn't train in the battle techniques. Luckily I let the golden horned beast train normally. Along with my Earth body training in the virtual universe training fields, I often train in the 3000 Space Claw technique. I've also comprehended the basics of using it. Luo Feng rejoiced within. Rumble. The genetic energy within Luo Feng's body swiftly churned, and after which layers of scales appeared on the surface of his body. Even his hands were covered in scales. Every scale engraving was exactly the same as the sleeping beast god statue, just that it was smaller in size. Only a very small portion of the scales had the same pattern as the small-sized beast god statue. Because of the small-scale beast god statue, Luo Feng only dared to copy a small portion of the scales, any more and he would be suppressed by the universe laws. The Chaos City leader revealed a smile. At this moment, Luo Feng was like a beast in human form. His entire body was covered in scales, and the domineering and ferocious aura of a beast god filled the air. It could be said that with just a simple usage of the beast god transformation, Luo Feng's battle strength had risen by a terrifying amount. Tearing sky first claw. Luo Feng fiercely rushed forward. His right hand that was covered in scales immediately tore, like the golden horned beast unleashing a heaven-tearing claw. Whoosh, the space of the ruined continent shook because of this, and a vague and terrifying giant claw shadow tore through the air and gradually dissipated. After unleashing this move, Luo Feng's scales immediately transformed into genetic energy and returned to his body, returning to his original form. Teacher. Luo Feng said respectfully. Your claw technique is not bad. The primal Chaos City leader nodded with satisfaction. You've comprehended the first level of the scales, but that's only in terms of origin laws. Using it, you can use it in spirit weapons, sword techniques, blade techniques, etc. You can use it in movement techniques, defense, and many other aspects. However, using it requires constant training and training. Your claw technique is not bad at all. Luo Feng sighed within as he heard. Could it be bad? The first claw was his ultimate move. He had seen the ancient pictures of the beast god, and had specially trained hard on that move. Even though the golden horned beast had copied it trillions of times, besides the copying, it constantly tried to use the first claw to understand the beast god's conception. From today onwards, you will be my 32nd direct disciple. The primal Chaos City leader emphasized. Your disciple greets teacher. Luo Feng knelt down. The primal Chaos City leader looked at the young punk kneeling before him. Compared to his long lifespan and supreme power, the punk before him was indeed very weak. Just like when parents have a few children, they would usually pamper the youngest one. Actually, in essence, parents care for all their children, only the youngest son or daughter needs the most care. Naturally, they would pamper them. One theory. Including Luo Feng, the primal Chaos City leader only had a total of 32 direct disciples. 27 of them were still alive, of which 25 were Universe Knights. One was an Emperor Pinnacle Undying, and the last was Luo Feng. He was the weakest. Towards the weaker disciples, the primal Chaos City leader naturally took care of them more. And today, looking at the kneeling Luo Feng before him, he was in a trance, almost as though he saw the young punk Kudi, who was filled with intelligence, kneeling before him back then. Kudi. The primal Chaos City leader thought about Kudi, that was also his direct disciple. He couldn't help but feel a surge of sadness and rage within. Back then, because of the Bug Clan's meticulous planning, he lost his disciple Kudi. Actually, at the level of the primal Chaos City leader, it was very hard to kill his disciple. Even if he was killed, his soul would scatter. The primal Chaos City leader was able to reverse time and space, returning to the time when his disciple hadn't died, forcefully reviving his disciple. Of course, reversing time and space was extremely difficult, and it went against the laws of the universe. There would be a backlash and a price to pay anyway. Reversing time and space itself had many difficulties. And this move wasn't invincible. Not everyone who died could be revived. Just like Kudi, under the Bug Clan's meticulous planning, the primal Chaos City leader eventually lost his disciple. Get up. The primal Chaos City leader sighed. Luo Feng stood up obediently. I have a total of 32 disciples including you, of which 5 have already fallen. The primal Chaos City leader said, of your 26 seniors that are still alive, 25 of them are Universe Knights. The only one left is an Emperor Pinnacle Undying. You're still young, I believe it'll be easy for you to reach the pinnacle. Luo Feng couldn't help but mutter to himself when he heard, you're still young. Young? He had been in Primal Chaos City for over 900 years, 3,000 years had already passed in the actual universe. If he counted according to Earth's time, he was already over 3,000 years old. After 3,000 years of development, the human population of Earth had reached a ridiculous level. They had long covered the entire Milky Way galaxy. Even the other galaxies had large numbers of people from Earth. Limiting the population was mainly because of land and food, etc. If there wasn't any land or food restrictions, a small tribe with a few tens of people could develop to over 100 million in 1,000 years. Hence, after 3,000 years, Earth's population and the Luo family's population had already expanded to a shocking level, and the people of Earth had long placed Luo Feng in a high position, the Luo family too, hence many people called Luo Feng some ancestor or something, calling him Earth's saint, etc. However, in front of the primal Chaos City leader, he was told that he was still young. However, Luo Feng knew the city leader was right. Compared to the primal Chaos City leader, Universe Knights and other absolute beings, those that haven't lived for over 100 million years are considered juniors. Luo Feng muttered. From today onwards, you can directly teleport to my palace in Thunder Island. The primal Chaos City leader said, if you have any questions regarding your training, you can go to my palace in the virtual universe Thunder Island and ask me. As for this primal chaos ruins, without my orders, you don't have to come here. Yes, teacher. Luo Feng said respectfully. Also, the day you reach Sector Lord level, and the day you leave Primal Chaos City, come to the Primal Chaos Ruins once. Come to the Primal Chaos Ruins once. Primal Chaos City Master said. Yes. Luo Feng noted it down. The day he becomes a Sector Lord? The day he leaves Primal Chaos City? They all came to see his teacher? You can leave now. The Primal Chaos City leader smiled indifferently. Oh, your authority has already been raised. You can use the Virtual Universe Network to search for any information you wish to know. Your disciple will leave. Luo Feng was overjoyed within, replying. Shua. The Primal Chaos City leader immediately teleported Luo Feng out of the Primal Chaos ruins. The only person left on this ruined continent was the Primal Chaos City leader. Looking at the vast ruins, the trillions of corpses, the Primal Chaos City leader once again sat crossed-legged, quietly sitting there. Luo Feng felt the space before him warp. In an instant he was standing at the entrance of the Primal Chaos Ruins courtyard. I was still wondering what reward I would get from becoming a direct disciple. Luo Feng laughed to himself. However, the Primal Chaos City teacher made me meet him when I become a Sector Lord, and when I leave Primal Chaos City, there's probably something special. If there's nothing special, I'll meet him in the virtual universe. My authority level has been raised? Luo Feng was overjoyed within. Walking within the city leader's residence, he quickly exited and returned to his quiet training balcony. Sitting crossed-legged there, Luo Feng immediately sent a thread of his consciousness into the virtual universe to search for information on the Primal Sky Mountain. Different authority levels, the information one could search for was different too. Like before, even though Luo Feng was a Primal Region member, he couldn't find much information. He couldn't even search for the Great Alliance in detail. And the Primal Chaos City leader's direct disciple status, his authority level was extremely high. Higher authority levels are indeed different. The information I can search for is very detailed. Sitting cross-legged on the balcony, Luo Feng smiled. Primal Sky Mountain, it's indeed difficult. Universe-level Primal Sky Mountain, one needs to have passed the 12th level of the Heavenly Bridge to pass. Domain Lord-level Primal Sky Mountain, one needs to have passed the 16th level of the Heavenly Bridge to pass. Sector Lord-level Primal Sky Mountain, one needs to have passed the 20th level of the Heavenly Bridge to pass. Luo Feng looked at the information he found. He couldn't help but exclaim. Difficult. Primal Sky Mountain. It was indeed the hardest level. Using True Yan's words, he didn't even want the geniuses to pass it. However, in history, there were still a few absolute geniuses that appeared once every 10 million eras, and some that passed the Primal Sky Mountain. Of course, those geniuses that appeared once every 10,000 eras didn't have that ability. P.S. Chapter 1 here. Chapter 755. Virtual Universe Yuxiang Mountain Primal Region. Luo Feng sat before his desk and looked at his laptop screen. On it was detailed information on the Primal Sky Mountain. Difficult, it's really difficult. Luo Feng muttered within. The original Tong Tian Mountain's guardian was split into the foot of the mountain, the middle of the mountain, and the top of the mountain. Each stage was a Minotaur fighter, Ape-Man Spirit Reader Master, and Snake Woman Illusionist working together to attack. The foot of the mountain was the easiest, the middle of the mountain was obviously much more difficult, and the top of the mountain was even more ridiculously difficult. Only by passing all three levels would one be considered successful. One could say, this Primal Sky Mountain wasn't meant for anyone to pass, it was just a high and unreachable benchmark. However, there were still monstrous geniuses amongst the humans. Like the 1 in 10 million eras absolute geniuses that passed the Primal Sky Mountain. Can I pass it now? Luo Feng muttered within. According to the records of the 7 divine transformations, the first level of the scale armor is comparable to the 15th level of the Heavenly Bridge's origin law comprehension. And my spirit energy amplitude is extremely high, hence I should be able to reach the 16th level of the Heavenly Bridge, Once I use the beast god mentality, my strength might even be higher. Luo Feng thought. This was only in theory. A real battle was split into many aspects. Psychological factors, school counters, etc. One had to know that this was a combined attack of a fighter, spirit reader and hypnotist. If one was slightly delayed by the hypnotist, one could be killed by the other guardians. After flipping through the information on the Primal Sky Mountain, Luo Feng began to search for Sector Lord level resource reward. I've long heard that the Primal Region's Sector Lord rewards are shocking. Those geniuses are all fighting for the Sector Lord rewards. Luo Feng smiled. I wonder how shocking the rewards are. The laptop screen immediately appeared with large amounts of information. High authority is indeed different. Luo Feng was proud. Before he became the direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader, Luo Feng couldn't find any information on this. Now, however, there was much more detailed information. Wow! Babata on his shoulder was shocked. That's too ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Luo Feng took in a deep breath and lightly opened one of the pieces of information on the screen. Sector Lord. This is the most important stage of training. The Virtual Universe Company nurtures geniuses. Universe levels are only given some training missions and have to live in secret regions. Domain lords are only given some missions and have guards to protect them. Overall, it's very safe and doesn't pose too much of a threat. However, eagles can only grow through trials and tribulations. A true absolute warrior would definitely have to go through countless battles and battles. Hence the universe level primal region and domain lord level primal region didn't gain much from it. What truly made one envious was the distribution of resources that the Primal Mystic Realm Sector Lord received. The distribution of resources was like this. After becoming the Primal Mystic Realm Sector Lord, in the first Sector Lord qualification battle, the first place would be rewarded with 1 billion points. The second to 10th place would be rewarded with 300 million points, and the 11th to the 100th place would be rewarded with 100 million points. Of course, this kind of resource reward was only effective for the first qualifying battle. The second, the third, the 10th, and the 100th qualifying battle would not have any reward. As for what treasures the Sector Lords needed to purchase, they could use points to exchange for them. Smart enough. Every Sector Lord may need different techniques, treasures, etc., hence they might as well give out the point. Luo Feng thought. That's a huge sum. However, it's very hard to get extremely high points. As it's the first time participating in the Sector Lord qualification battle, it means I'm still a new Sector Lord. Compared to the old Sector Lords, to get the first place to get 1 billion points, difficult. I'm afraid there are very few who get the 300 million point. The 100 million points are the majority. Luo Feng thought. Points were very valuable, as there were many treasures within the Virtual Universe Company that had to be exchanged for with point. Even someone as strong as True Yen Emperor used his points to exchange for the upper half of the 7 transformations. And the higher the level, the stronger the purchasing power of the point. For example, things like the Life Fruit and Nanshin armament, which were very cheap, using points to buy them wasn't worth it at all. An item worth 1 mixed element could cost 10 points. However, as the items got more and more expensive, the point advantage would begin to show. Like the Flame Void Gold, if it was auctioned, it would normally be sold for 1.5 to 2 million mixed element. However, with Luo Feng's current authority, he could use points to exchange for it, and he could even get a very low discount. With just 500,000 points, he could exchange for the Flame Void Gold. At this time, 1 point's purchasing power would exceed 1 mixed element, and there were many items that couldn't be bought with mixed element. Hence many Undyings would rather exchange their money for points, to exchange for techniques and treasures, etc. 100 million points, its purchasing power exceeds 100 million mixed elements. Luo Feng thought. And official level Undyings usually have 10 million mixed elements worth of wealth. every sector lord in the primal region. The moment one becomes an undying, normally he's at least an official level undying, he's definitely one of the wealthier ones. Luo Feng thought. Of course, points were meant to be spent. These points were basically given away by the Virtual Universe Company for free. It was to give these primal region sector lords a good chance to develop. After all, the 100 sector lords in the primal region added up only amounted to about 10 billion points. The Virtual Universe Company could definitely afford it. It was only because the sector lords of the primal region were constantly being produced that they limited this amount. Luo Feng continued to flip through the information on the sector lord rewards, reading them one by one. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. The Virtual Universe Company had additional special rewards. 1. Passing the universe level primal sky mountain. When one becomes a sector lord, they will be rewarded with 100 million points. 2. Passing the domain lord level primal sky mountain. When one becomes a sector lord, they will be rewarded with 3 billion points. 3. Passing the sector lord level primal sky mountain, they will be rewarded with 100 billion points. My God. Vicious. Luo Feng took a deep cold breath. This was a huge reward. Wow, so bold. Babata on his shoulder cheered. That's normal too, passing the primal sky mountain, it's so hard. Normally those that can do it are absolute geniuses that only appear once every 10 million eras. Of course the resources given to them are much more. This setting is probably to prevent some geniuses from starting strong but falling later on. Hence the rewards in the later stages should be high enough. Luo Feng nodded. Sector Lord level primal sky mountain. To succeed, one had to pass the 20th level of the Heavenly Bridge. That was just one level away from becoming a Universe Knight. Such a sector lord, the moment they broke through to Undying, they would immediately be comparable to true Yen Emperor. Their chances of becoming a Universe Knight were very high too. Giving them 100 billion points to nurture was very normal. Who? Luo Feng laid back on the sofa in his study, drinking a glass of fruit wine. Talent, resources, temperament, luck to become an absolute warrior amongst the trillions of races in the universe, these factors are all indispensable. Luo Feng exclaimed, the Virtual Universe Company is indeed focusing on nurturing future warriors. Passing the primal sky mountain, the rewards were the highest. Because this was normally something only geniuses that only appear once every 10 million eras could pass. To many geniuses, this path was simply too unrealistic. Sector Lord of the Primal Region, the rewards were also very high. This path was very realistic. It was the goal of countless geniuses. As for the sector lords of the Absolute Beginning Region, Sky and Land Region, Last Phase Region, they too would receive points after the first qualification battle, however that was obviously much less. I'll check the materials needed to train the second level of deities of the world. Luo Feng thought. Deities of the world, this technique was very heaven-defying. One's strength increased by many times. However, this technique's requirements for the materials were too harsh, hence the price was ridiculously high. The higher the authority, the different things are indeed different. Many of the treasures that I couldn't exchange for in the past can be found now. Luo Feng was overjoyed after his authority rose. The treasures that appeared in the treasure trove were obviously much more. The materials needed for the second level of deities of the world were all found. However, after calculating the points, my God! Luo Feng took a deep breath. Time to pass the primal sky mountain. He had no choice, he was poor. Even after becoming a sector lord, he would only get 50 million mixed elements. However, his cloud contact vine and star-eating grass were all bottomless pits. The most terrible thing was the set of deity of the world. Just Canluo's feather alone was priced at 12 million points in the treasure trove. And there were even more expensive treasures that couldn't be found in the treasure trove back then. Even though he found them now, their prices were much more expensive than Canluo's feather. To complete the second level, The number of points required was actually over 10 billion. As for the third level of deities of the world, don't even think about it. With Luo Feng's current authority, he could only check 3 types, the rest couldn't be found at all. No wonder those golden-horned beast sector lords didn't even manage to complete the second level. After all, the weak golden-horned beasts, how could they compare to the humans in terms of treasures? The amount of treasures the entire virtual universe company had gathered was naturally shocking. However, at the same time, countless absolute warriors had gone through hardships to get their hands on them. Passing the primal sky mountain, I'll get 3 billion points. Luo Feng thought, with these 3 billion points, my strength will rise by a huge amount. So, Luo Feng immediately vanished from his study. In the space of the sky-piercing mountain plain, there were only 3 towering mountains on this vast land. On the mountainsides of the 3 mountains, there were golden words, heaven and earth, absolute beginning and primordial. Among them, the primordial sky-piercing mountain was clearly the tallest. So, appearing out of nowhere, Luo Feng swiftly flew towards the primal sky mountain. Luo Feng landed at the foot of the mountain, looking up at the primal sky mountain that pierced through the clouds, after which he looked down at the not-too-distant huge bull man sleeping on a large rock. Beside him was a huge dark purple axe. It looked almost like countless drops of fresh blood. It made one's heart palpitate. Stop sleeping, bull man, call the ape man and snake lady over, I want to pass the primal sky mountain. Luo Feng shouted. That sleeping bull man immediately got up, blinking and looking around. He saw Luo Feng. You want to pass the primal sky mountain? Luo Feng nodded. P.S. The second chapter has arrived, there's still the third chapter today. Chapter 756. Ah! The bull man stared wide-eyed, immediately roaring loudly. Someone is trying to pass the primal sky mountain. 2 beams of light flew over from the distance. It was the ape-man spirit reader and the snake lady hypnotist. The 3 guardians gathered at the foot of the mountain and looked at Luo Feng. At the same time, they quickly received his detailed information. Luo Feng? Past the 13th level of the heavenly bridge? The snake lady smiled charmingly. Your Majesty Luo Feng, your strength is still not enough. Cut the crap. The dark golden long rod on Luo Feng's back immediately split into 10,081 little golden blades. In an instant, tens of thousands of golden lights began to form intricately, forming a 3m long dark golden long blade in an instant. This was the perfect 9th level of the Nanshin armament's undying level. Xiao. The battle immediately began. Killing his way up from the foot of the mountain, the defenders at the foot and middle of the mountain were all successfully defeated by Luo Feng. Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle and flew along the towering primal sky mountain. After flying for a while, he finally reached the peak. The peak was surrounded by clouds and mist. The bull man was lying there snoring like thunder. The ape man was holding a huge barrel of wine and drinking happily. In the distant pool of water, the snake lady was playing in it. When Luo Feng landed on the mountain peak, the 3 guardians simultaneously opened their eyes and looked over, examining Luo Feng. The mountain peak trial was the last trial, and also the most difficult one. How many years has it been? The snake lady in the pool sighed, slowly swimming out of the water, wearing only a thin veil. Even though she had a snake's tail and human body, her upper body beneath the veil was still faintly discernible, with a hint of red that could seduce one's lust. Yes, it's been far too long. A low voice resounded from the bull man's mouth. The 3 of us have been created, and haven't been challenged in over 1,000,000 eras. The ape man stood up too. In the distance, Luo Feng was slightly stunned as he heard. Created? After which, Luo Feng understood, these guardians were probably AIs created by the virtual universe system. One had to know that the virtual universe system was incredibly powerful. It was able to simulate all sorts of laws. In the slaughterhouse and other places, It could provide the required opponents according to the requirements of the trainers. Therefore, it was a piece of cake to create the guardians of the three sky-piercing mountains. Heaven and earth, absolute beginning, and primordial. It was just that these AIs had lived for too long, and some of them had even turned into AIs, possessing emotions of joy, anger, sorrow, and joy. Luo Feng, the snake lady, looked at Luo Feng. Her voice was soft and gentle. Even though I really want to chat with an outsider like you, we have to carry out our duties, and we have to give it our all. Me too. Luo Feng said softly. Boom. The dark golden long rod on his back immediately broke apart and became a dark golden long blade. Simultaneously, scales began to appear on Luo Feng's body. In an instant, he seemed to have become a human-shaped beast god, unleashing the beast god transformation. Of course, with only the first level, his strength wasn't that strong. It seems to be very good. The Lamia smiled. Snake Woman's smile. Luo Feng fell into an illusion. The skinny ape man immediately shot out an arc of light from his back, immediately slicing towards Luo Feng's neck, attempting to behead him. Break! Luo Feng's gaze was like lightning, roaring softly and immediately breaking the illusion. Dang! The dark golden long blade's speed immediately reached its limit. With a faint beast roar, it was absolutely tyrannical, immediately tearing through the skies and clashing with a rumble against the arc of light. That arc of light and Luo Feng's Nanshin armament shook simultaneously. The Nanshin armament and the arc of light were both sent flying. My spirit energy amplifier is completely unleashed, along with the first level scale armor comprehension, unleashing the Nanshin armament with all my strength. It's actually only on par with this ape man. Luo Feng's expression changed, immediately roaring softly. He immediately pounced towards the bull man like lightning. As he closed in and attacked the ape man, he controlled the Nanshin armament to tangle with him. As for the snake lady, Luo Feng didn't even bother with her. He was confident that with his willpower, he could definitely withstand the illusion. Ha ha! The bull man laughed loudly, rushing straight at Luo Feng. Every step he took caused the mountain rocks to tremble. The huge blood axe in his hand immediately rose up high, the space trembled and a formless huge axe appeared around him. With a roar, the space was immediately sliced open with a terrifying crack. Domain Lord Level 9 power, easily slicing open the universe space. Good. Under the beast god transformation, Luo Feng became a human beast god and waved his right hand domineeringly. Break for me! Luo Feng's slap seemed as though it could shatter the land and skies. With every swipe, a huge blurry beast god claw appeared. This claw immediately slammed into the blood axe from the side. With a rumble, the blood axe involuntarily swayed to the side. The bull man immediately changed his move from a vertical slash to a horizontal slash. So, Luo Feng was as fast as lightning. After waving his claw, his entire being immediately leapt forward, both his hands actually pressing against the axe's surface, following which he fiercely extended his claw. Tearing sky first claw. This was the first time Luo Feng exploded completely. This claw was incomparably ferocious. With one claw, 5 space cracks appeared in space. Following which, Luo Feng's claw pierced through the bull man's chest armor. The terrifying claw energy wreaked havoc within the bull man's body, easily destroying that life core. The bull man was dead. There's still 2 left. Luo Feng, who had just crushed the bull man's chest, turned fiercely, following which he too pounced like lightning. Actually, when the bull man was killed, the outcome of this battle was already decided. Success. Luo Feng stood at the peak, looking at the 3 blurry corpses surrounded by the clouds, following which their injuries instantly vanished, returning to normal. Simultaneously the bull man, snake lady and ape man all stood up. Congratulations, Luo Feng. Congratulations on passing the primal sky mountain. The 3 guardians smiled as they looked at Luo Feng. The snake lady couldn't help but ask, Luo Feng, how come my illusions have no effect on you? Your illusions aren't strong enough. Luo Feng smiled. 900 years of hard training in Primal Chaos City, long periods of solitude, it was also a good training for one's mental state, these 900 years. Luo Feng's willpower improvement was very obvious, understanding one's nature, looking straight at one's heart, even though it was only the first level of mental state, if one continued to push the limits and train, one's willpower could still continue to rise. With Luo Feng's willpower and determination, how could the Snake Lady even shake him? Primal Chaos City, countless training quarters, on one of the balconies. Luo Feng sat crossed-legged. Success. Luo Feng opened his eyes, they were filled with glee. I've passed the Primal Sky Mountain, this way. The moment I reach Sector Lord level I'll be able to get the points reward. With that batch of points, my strength will rise again. The life and death training will make me even more confident. The Primal Chaos City leader teacher told me before when I reach Sector Lord level, I'll go find him. Then, I'll break through to Sector Lord now. Luo Feng closed his eyes, at the same time. Virtual Universe, Thunder Island was bustling with activity. The entire management team of the company knew of a piece of news. Luo Feng had passed the Primal Sky Mountain. After so long, our human race finally has a junior that has passed the Primal Sky Mountain, and it's even a Domain Lord level Primal Sky Mountain. A tall and thin man with compound eyes and a set of sinister green armor was seated at the side. He was carefully sipping on a cup of fruit wine while clucking his tongue in praise. This Luo Feng is indeed worthy of the Primal Chaos City leader's attention. His potential is indeed extraordinary. The silver-robed bald man with green engravings on his face smiled, simultaneously glancing at another person. The ones chatting now were 3 Universe Knights. These 3 belonged to the management level of the Virtual Universe Company. The last time Luo Feng's highest point mission was judged by the 3 of them. Humph! The short man with messy green hair snorted coldly. This Luo Feng is bloodthirsty and extremely selfish, so what if he's strong? In the future he might just be a problem. From what I see, we should have restricted him long ago, suppressing his growth. The 2 of us don't dare to suppress him. The compound-eyed man laughed oddly. That's the direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. The entire power of the Virtual Universe Company has always been controlled by him. I have to say, Bo Si Hua, you're indeed daring to suppress the disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. The short man's expression grew uglier. Beside, the silver-robed bald man suddenly laughed. Right, I remember the Domain Lord level Primal Sky Mountain, the moment he passes it. When this Luo Feng becomes a Sector Lord, he'll get 3 billion points as a reward, right? There's such a thing. The compound-eyed man nodded. 3 billion points. This Luo Feng didn't have much resources before, yet he improved so quickly. When he becomes a Sector Lord with these 3 billion points, he can purchase many treasures according to his needs, and with the Primal Chaos City leader's guidance, he'll definitely soar. Who knows, he might even become an absolute being on par with Kadi. The silver-robed bald man complimented. The compound-eyed man and the silver-robed bald man, the 2 of them echoed each other, causing the short man beside to feel displeased. One couldn't blame the 2 for mocking him now. The main thing was back when Luo Feng was given the highest points for the 4th round of the mission. The 3 of them had an argument. The compound-eyed man and the silver-robed bald man both felt being a little selfish was very normal. If he wasn't, then that would be abnormal. And Luo Feng was very fair when dealing with his tribesmen, giving them 90% to 100% of the completion, giving them high points too. However, this universe paragon called Bo Si Hua did not agree. He thought Luo Feng was extremely selfish. He actually didn't even interrogate his father. Obviously he didn't put the Virtual Universe Company in his eyes. Such a person, if they were to nurture him, he might just be a disaster. As they argued, that was the final outcome. The points given weren't too high, but not too low either. Wait and see, I've already said, this Luo Feng might very well be a disaster in the future. The short man said. The compound-eyed man and the silver-robed bald man laughed. While they were talking, the three of them all knew the same thing. The primal region sector lords had risen from the previous 100 to 101, and the new one was Luo Feng. Luo Feng, you've become a sector lord? The compound-eyed man and the silver-robed bald man laughed. The short man, however, had a cold expression. 3 chapters later, begging for monthly votes, begging for recommendation votes, begging for all votes. Everyone, do you still have tickets? Chapter 757. The Virtual Universe Company Primal Region Member List. The security level wasn't too high. When Luo Feng became a sector lord and was confirmed by the Virtual Universe Network, it automatically raised him from a Domain Lord Primal Region member to a Sector Lord Primal Region member. With this raise, the list changed. Many Undyings and Absolute Beings knew about it. Luo Feng walked on the path towards the city leader's residence. He noticed many Undyings looking at him. He's Luo Feng? He's already a Primal Region Sector Lord. I heard. This Luo Feng has already passed the Domain Lord level Primal Sky Mountain. Where did you get that from? His success in the Primal Sky Mountain isn't made public. It's said that only the Universe Knights know about this. I've only heard about it. On the 2 sides of the path, he would often hear the Undyings discussing softly. Obviously, in the recent 1,000 years, Luo Feng had indeed become a famous genius in Primal Chaos City. A large half of the warriors in Primal Chaos City recognized him. Luo Feng entered the city leader's residence amidst these discussions. He entered the inner residence and stepped into the Primal Chaos Ruins courtyard. Time and space changed. On the vast ruins continent, trillions of corpses could be seen everywhere. Luo Feng walked on the continent and saw the distant silhouette sitting crossed-legged. Teacher. Luo Feng stood beside and bowed respectfully. Hua. The Primal Chaos City leader stood up. His scaled tail waved and he looked at Luo Feng. This made Luo Feng mutter within. It's said that the teacher has 3 bodies. This is only one of them. I wonder what the others look like. The city leader had 3 bodies. Luo Feng knew this. The one before him was one of them. You're finally willing to break through to Sector Lord level. The Primal Chaos City leader's eyes gleamed with a smile. Luo Feng was stunned. Finally willing? From Domain Lord level 9 to Sector Lord, one would normally meet a bottleneck. It wasn't something one could break through just because they wanted to. However, his teacher's tone, when did you take over the golden-horned beast's body? Was it when your home Earth was invaded by the golden-horned beast back then? The Primal Chaos City leader asked casually. Luo Feng's eyes stared wide. My God! Taking over the golden-horned beast's body? This. He had always kept it a secret and never made it public. Ha, you silly boy. The Primal Chaos City leader laughed. Don't tell me you think you can hide the fact that you've taken over the golden-horned beast from me. Teacher. Luo Feng's mind was in a mess. Don't be nervous, taking over the golden-horned beast is no big deal. The Primal Chaos City master shook his head and laughed. The essence of flesh and blood lifeforms is still the soul. No matter how you steal, no matter what body you steal, your soul will never change. It is still a human soul. Naturally, they're still part of the human race. Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief. Speaking of which, it made sense. There were many secret techniques of possession, and there were also many that could be performed at the planetary level and stellar level. Often, there would be people who would attempt possession. If they were not satisfied with the first possession, they might attempt possession a second time. For example, back then, Hu Yenbo also attempted possession. Many of the experts in the universe had gone through possession when they were growing up, in order to reduce the limitations of their original bloodline on their strength. Therefore, possession wasn't something that couldn't be seen in public. The soul was the foundation. Possessing the golden horned beast, as long as it had a human soul, it was naturally a human. Haha, don't be fooled by appearances. If on the surface you're a human, in reality you've been possessed by a different race, and your soul is that of a different race. Then, that's a different race, and not a human. The primal Chaos City Master laughed. If you have the ability to possess the golden horned beast, that's your ability. If you can possess a stronger life form, that's even better. I'm just afraid you won't be able to. Luo Feng finally calmed down. In the past, he had always been worried, because Hu Yanbo's body was still a human, but his body belonged to a different race. The moment he was exposed, he would be labeled as a different race, and that would be troublesome. He didn't dare take the risk. Hence he had always hidden his identity. From the looks of it, the upper echelons of the human race were rather open-minded. Teacher, how did you discover me? Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. Every new batch of geniuses, no matter if it's the genius battle or the core members of the 5 great powers, they'll all come to Primal Chaos City once. The Primal Chaos City Master laughed. The first time you come to Primal Chaos City, one reason is to let you choose a Primal Chaos tablet and know the way forward. The second is to check if there are any other race spies within you. If you train well, you'll end up becoming a strong warrior for the other races. That would be a joke. In Primal Chaos City, I can instantly see through all of you. The Primal Chaos City Master said, back then, I saw the nucleus within your body. Luo Feng was shocked. Right. How could humanity not check through and waste resources to nurture these geniuses? And the Primal Chaos City Master, as the pinnacle of humanity's great being, the absolute top 3 overlords of the universe, naturally he could easily see through everyone's background and see through everyone's soul. Then, Luo Feng couldn't help but ask, since you know I've possessed the golden horned beast, and that I've long been a sector lord, why do you still treat me as a domain lord? I know you've possessed the golden horned beast, others don't. The Primal Chaos City Master laughed indifferently. Luo Feng blinked. My responsibility is to check if there are any other race spies within you. The Primal Chaos City Master exclaimed, there are too many miraculous encounters within the universe. Your possession of the golden horned beast doesn't mean much in the vast universe. As long as I can confirm you're a human, that's enough. As for the managers below not realizing you've possessed the golden horned beast, they still treat you as a universe level, as a domain lord. Naturally I can't be bothered. Luo Feng nodded. Right. The Primal Chaos City Master was the virtual universe company's biggest boss. What kind of position did he have? Why would he bother with such small matters? Teacher, if you can discover it, why can't others? Luo Feng was curious. I control a region of time and space. The Primal Chaos City Master laughed softly. Within this region of time and space, I can easily inspect everything. And those universe knights, they've either comprehended the space laws or time laws. They can't do what I can, unless I intentionally send a thread of God energy into your body to inspect. Otherwise they won't be able to discover you've possessed the golden horned beast. Luo Feng understood. The Lord of the Universe, who controlled space-time, was indeed much stronger than the universe paragons. Luckily you came to Primal Chaos City when you were weak. The Primal Chaos City Master said, if you were an undying and this was your first time in Primal Chaos City, I might have wronged you and treated you as a space beast spy. Luo Feng was curious. The moment you become an undying, your soul will begin to completely fuse with your body, even your spirit imprint will be infused into every cell. The Primal Chaos City Master smiled. When that time comes, every cell will be considered a part of your soul. As there's no clear and visible soul, only the most basic spirit imprint can be inspected, and every life form with a soul has a different spirit imprint. There's no way to determine if you're human from the imprint. Hence, I'll suspect you of being a spy. The Primal Chaos City Master smiled. Luo Feng nodded. right, from normal humans to sector lords, their souls were all gathered together. Domain lords were soul crystals, sector lords were origin pearls, the souls were all gathered together. The primal Chaos City Master could naturally tell if it was a human soul or not. However, after becoming an undying, the soul would immediately break down and fuse into every cell. At that time there would be no clear and visible soul, the soul would become a part of the undying body. If that's the case, wouldn't the first-time undyings in Primal Chaos City be unable to determine if they're spies? Luo Feng asked. Right. The Primal Chaos City Master nodded. There's no way to confirm, hence the first-time undyings in Primal Chaos City are all suspects, they'll be monitored. After hearing all this, Luo Feng felt that the human sacred land Primal Chaos City was indeed heavily guarded. His teacher probably only told him one of the precautions, there were many other precautions. When he had always thought the golden horned beast was a secret, he didn't expect the Primal Chaos City leader to already know. It was just that back then, the Primal Chaos City leader couldn't be bothered with a punk. Stealing the golden horned beast, amongst the trillions of races in the universe, it can only be considered above average. The Primal Chaos City Master smiled. The only good thing is that I'll be able to obtain his bloodline ability, cloning. Choosing a good clone is extremely important. How many clones have you nurtured now? 2. Luo Feng said respectfully. Looks like there's only one left. The Primal Chaos City Master nodded. Let me remind you, Luo Feng listened carefully. The universe is fair, the ability to nurture clones can't be unlimited. The Primal Chaos City Master emphasized. According to what I know, 1, there are some very mysterious and terrifying life forms in the universe, even unique life forms. Even if it's only Sector Lord level, your golden horned beast's internal world can't nurture such a life form. The golden horned beast's internal world nurtures life forms. At most they can nurture life forms that are 10 to 100 times stronger than the golden horned beast. To nurture such a life form, that's not very realistic. Of course the golden horned beast's bloodline is noble, hence almost all the Sector Lord life forms in the universe can nurture it, there are only a few exceptions. 2. If you choose a powerful life form that's close to the internal world's nurturing limit, stronger than the golden horned beast by 10 to 100 times. Right, it can indeed be nurtured successfully. However, the universe is fair, the clones you nurture are too powerful, they'll meet with some obstacles when they grow. Luo Feng was stunned. Obstacles? Right. The Primal Chaos City Master nodded. The stronger your clones are, the more obstacles there will be. Everything goes hand in hand. The Primal Chaos City Master smiled. This is the universe's fairness. Even though there will be obstacles, the moment you get past them, you'll have even more power. Just a little bit more and I'll be number 1. I urgently need the support. Chapter 758. Hearing the Primal Chaos City leader say that, Luo Feng began to ponder. Before, when the golden horned beast stepped into Sector Lord level, it chose to swallow metal to grow to Sector Lord level 9. That way, the internal world could reach a diameter of 90 million kilometers. The good thing was that the world projection would be very, very strong. The bad thing was that to break through the shackles of the core would be 10 to 100 times harder than normal golden horned beast. Like the 1,000 vine star-eating grass, the 360 vine cloud contact vine, and the bug clan queen breaking through to undying, their difficulty far exceeded that of the golden horned beast. These types of heavenly strong beings wanting to become undying was as hard as ascending to the heavens. Hypothetically, Luo Feng's third body would be over 100 times stronger than the golden horned beast. For example, if Luo Feng created a bug clan queen as his third body, the moment she became undying, she could create large amounts of undying bug soldiers. That was known to be invincible under the Universe Knights, able to sweep through many undying armies. With Luo Feng's third body as the bug clan queen, breaking through to undying, wouldn't the difficulty change at all? This didn't conform to the laws of the universe. A strong body would definitely create some special obstacles. Luo Feng muttered. Teacher is right. And in the past, the first two bodies I created were the Earth body and the Masha clansman, of which the Earth body was too weak compared to the golden horned beast. The Masha clansman was probably only 1/10 of the golden horned beast. Luo Feng thought, the first two bodies were too weak, hence they didn't show any special obstacles. Who cares? Just as teacher said, the moment I break through the obstacles, I'll naturally get stronger. Luo Feng thought. Beside him were the corpses of the other warriors. However, the primal Chaos City leader looked calmly at Luo Feng. From Luo Feng's eyes, he could feel the drive to push forward. Kudi back then was like this too. The primal Chaos City leader sighed within. The Kudi back then, the current Luo Feng, no matter what difficulties they faced, they had complete confidence and wouldn't give up. Luo Feng, the primal Chaos City leader shouted. Teacher. Luo Feng said respectfully. You haven't truly trained in the 7 divine transformations and some of the origin law techniques, right? The primal Chaos City leader said. Not yet, I've just finished comprehending the scale armor, hence I immediately came to see you. Luo Feng said respectfully. Although he didn't practice. However, Luo Feng had already seen it before, the entire 7 transformations, other than studying the origin laws, had 4 other special techniques. More accurately speaking, 3 very strong usage techniques. The 4th was the Beast God transformation. Training the 7 transformations would naturally allow one to unleash this move. It was very simple, but cultivating the other 3 secret techniques was complicated. The primal Chaos City Lord nodded. Hiludo is also an overlord in the universe, and the 7 transformations of the Flowing God contains all of his techniques. You have only cultivated the first chapter, so you are still very weak. It would be beneficial for him to cultivate his absolute art first. As for self-created secret arts and self-created weapons, Luo Feng's eyes gleamed as he listened carefully. Usually, when one reached the pinnacle of the Sector Lord realm, they would start to create their own secret arts and weapons. The other Sector Lords all comprehend the normal origin laws. You are different, you train in the Beast God path. The primal Chaos City leader looked at Luo Feng. To create your own technique isn't easy. Also, do you know why a Sector Lord pinnacle starts to create their own techniques? Luo Feng replied respectfully. It's because other people's techniques aren't suitable for me. Right, they aren't suitable. The primal Chaos City leader nodded. And you haven't trained in the 7 transformations battle techniques, you haven't even trained them yet. Naturally you can't say they aren't suitable. Hence, what you need to do is first focus on learning Hiludo's battle techniques, and then rely on them to battle again and again. After countless battles, you will gradually feel that his techniques aren't able to unleash 100% of your strength. Then, at that time, you can start to gradually create your own technique. On the basis of the 7 transformations of the Flowing God, gradually create a secret technique that belongs to you. I understand. Luo Feng realized. If it wasn't because others were creating techniques at this time, and he was doing the same, how could others be in the same situation as him? He was training in the Beast God path that was countless times harder than normal people's. Of course it was ridiculously hard, simultaneously it was ridiculously powerful. When it was time to create, he would create again. When the time comes, success would follow naturally. This is the Beast God weapon, suitable for using the 7 transformations, a spirit reader weapon. The primal Chaos City leader flipped his hand and immediately a heavy huge shield appeared in mid-air. This was a completely gold shield with some blood engravings on it. The entire shield was about 2 m tall and 1 m wide. Beside it were some small Beast God carvings. It was very exquisite. Luo Feng held his breath. It's called the Beast God weapon. The primal Chaos City leader laughed loudly. It's to commemorate the Beast God. Luo Feng nodded. He hadn't trained in the 7 transformations battle techniques before, but he had seen them before. Naturally he knew that back then when Haludo roamed the vast universe, the weapon he used was the Beast God weapon. Of course this isn't the Beast God weapon Haludo used, the one he used has long disappeared with him. The Primal Chaos City Master said, "There are many experts in my human race who have tried to cultivate the 7 transformations of the living God. Although many of them gave up in the end, most of them ordered the Beast God weapon. Naturally, there is a standardized Beast God weapon. Naturally, it isn't considered precious and is just average." Standard Beast God weapon? Not precious? Average? Luo Feng muttered within. The Primal Chaos City leader's words couldn't be trusted. Because the Primal Chaos City leader's standards were too high, Luo Feng's possession of the golden horned beast was actually considered above average amongst the trillions of races in the universe. Of course, back then those who tried to train in the 7 transformations were mostly Universe Knight. Hence this Beast God weapon, it's enough for the Knights to fight and kill, it's not too bad. The Primal Chaos City leader said. The Beast God weapon used by the Universe Knights, even they say it's average. Luo Feng muttered within. Teacher, your standards are too high. This Beast God weapon, you can use it from now on. When you want to create your own techniques, it won't be too late to create your own weapon then. The Primal Chaos City leader controlled the shield to fly before Luo Feng. Thank you, teacher. Luo Feng said gratefully. He extended both hands to receive the shield. One touch. It was quite heavy. This shield was indeed a standard weapon used by the Universe Knights. Luo Feng felt that this shield was comparable to a destroyer from Earth before the Great Nirvana. Of course, at Luo Feng's level, he could destroy Earth with a flip of his hand. This bit of weight was like mud. I've reached Sector Lord level. Teacher told me to come over. The main thing is to give me some pointers and then give me this weapon? Luo Feng thought, simultaneously keeping the Beast God weapon in his world ring. You've reached Sector Lord level. This is the most important stage of training. As your teacher, I have to give you a treasure. The Primal Chaos City leader said. Primal Chaos City leader. No wonder he was the biggest boss of the Virtual Universe Company, the #1 person in power. The top 3 absolute beings of the human race, casually giving him a Beast God weapon and not even bothering about it. Luo Feng thought his teacher wanted him to give him the Beast God weapon. Looks like he had underestimated his teacher. This is a rare treasure, even teacher has no way of crafting it. If its uniqueness were to be made public, it would be enough to attract the Universe Knights to fight over it. The Primal Chaos City leader smiled. However, this treasure has never appeared before, it's always been in my hands, hence no other universe life forms know of its existence. Of course, its use to me can be ignored. Luo Feng held his breath as he heard. Could be ignored? This meant that this treasure still had some use to his teacher Primal Chaos City leader. It could attract the Universe Knights to fight over it. What treasure was this? His teacher was really generous. Hua! The Primal Chaos City leader flipped his hand, the surrounding space trembled, and a huge treasure floated in mid-air. Ah! Luo Feng looked at the treasure, stunned. This was a set of very exquisite silver wings. The enormous wings, which were about 80 meters tall, caused the space to tremble slightly in midair. The feathers on the wings could be seen clearly, but one could tell that the feathers were made of some strange metal and so on, and all of them were very sharp. And not real feathers. This could even be considered a weapon. So big. Luo Feng muttered softly. After you refine it and fuse it into your body, it can be big or small. Big, even if it's 1,000,000,000 km covering Laseo world, it's still a small matter, small as a cell. The Primal Chaos City leader said. Luo Feng was completely shocked. Such a powerful weapon? Smaller than a cell? Bigger than Laseo continent? No wonder it could attract the Universe Knights to go crazy over it. Luckily, it had never appeared before. No other universe life forms knew of its uniqueness. It's called Killer Wu Feather. the primal Chaos City leader said. Relying on it, you can fly and escape, and also use it for battle. As for its true use, how to use it, I'll send you a manual through the virtual universe. You can study it well. Yes, Luo Feng said respectfully. The manual on using the killer Wu feather couldn't be leaked. It was better to keep it in the virtual universe. Remember, do not leak any information about it, just from its appearance, or even from how you use it. Even the Universe Knights won't be able to confirm. This is the true power of the killer Wu feather. The primal Chaos City leader emphasized. However, if you leak information about it, there will be many knights that will go crazy over its power. Your disciple understands, Luo Feng said respectfully. The primal Chaos City leader nodded, sighing within. Kudi was dead. Luo Feng, with this killer Wu feather, his chances of survival should be much higher. You can go. The primal Chaos City leader waved his hand. When you're about to leave primal Chaos City to undergo life or death training, come find me again. Yes, teacher. Luo Feng said respectfully. Following which Luo Feng was teleported out of the primal chaos ruins by the primal Chaos City leader. Chapter 759. After acquiring the Beast God weapon and Wu killer wings, Luo Feng excitedly left the city leader's mansion, returning to his quiet training quarters. The moment he returned, Luo Feng immediately connected to the Virtual Universe Network. Virtual Universe Yuxiang Mountain Primal Region. Your Majesty Luo Feng, are you requesting for the nutrition cabin to be sent to Primal Chaos City? A clear and melodious voice resounded from the screen. Yes, Luo Feng sat in front of his desk and nodded. Hurry up and send the nutrition cabin over, yes. He then hung up the call. Luo Feng smiled. His position was different, his authority was different. Back when he first came to Primal Chaos City, Luo Feng had to listen to everything. Like the nutrition cabin, etc., they wouldn't be able to personally deliver it to Primal Chaos City. However, it was different now. Luo Feng's authority level was much higher than the others in the primal region. 7 Transformations of the Flowing God. Luo Feng waved his hand and a thick book on the shelf flew over and landed on Luo Feng's desk. As for the laptop, Luo Feng threw it away and it landed on the coffee table in front of the sofa. Previously, I only had a cursory look at the 4 great absolute arts, but I didn't study them properly. Now that I've mastered the first level of the scale chapter and understand a portion of the way of the Beast God, it's only natural that I learn how to use it. Luo Feng flipped open the thick book. It was at least half a meter thick. However, every page was extremely thin. The first volume alone had close to 10,000 pages. The first third of the first volume was filled with guidance on the comprehension of laws. It was mainly for cultivating the scale chapter. The last 2/3 of the book was about the 4 great secret method. The first, the Beast God transformation, was the easiest to learn. As long as one comprehended the laws of nature, it could be said to be easy to learn. But it was still a lost art. Furthermore, it was a very, very important lost art. The contents of this absolute art allowed Luo Feng to understand a huge secret of the universe. According to Hiroto, 100% perfect utilization of body strength was something every undying could definitely do, and true absolute experts could completely exceed their limits. For example, he could double or triple his attack power. Just like Luo Feng, the golden horned beast's natural talent strengthening was an all-round strengthening, of which his body's strength was doubled. Another example would be the absolute art, deity of the world. It was an extremely valuable absolute art. The moment it used this absolute art, the golden horned beast would continuously shrink, the density of its muscles and bones would constantly increase. This way, it could instantly multiply its strength. The legendary limit was as high as 36 times. These were all special secret arts that could instantly increase one's attack power. And the limit of the universe that his body could amplify was 100 times. No matter what secret art was used, The highest limit was 100 times. It was the same principle. The cosmic limit of the soul's instantaneous amplification was also 100 times. For example, Luo Feng's spirit energy amplitude was around 3,200 as his normal perfect state was 100, Luo Feng's current soul amplitude was around 32 times. And according to Luo Feng's conjecture, the demon note inheritance's final goal was to reach 100 times the amplitude. 100 times was the limit of the universe. There was no way to surpass it. Deities of the world had been trained to the large success stage of 36 times. However, according to Luo Feng's inherited memories, other than the golden horned beast that created the deities of the world back then, none of the other powerful golden horned beasts had been able to train to the third level. Even the large success of the second level was rare. An amplitude of 36 times was obviously extremely difficult. Beast-God transformation, Hiroto only had a total of 6 levels. First level 2 times. Second level 4 times. Third level 8 times. 6th level 64 times. Meaning, the universe tyrant Hiroto, an invincible being under the universe lord level, unleashed the beast-god transformation at most 64 times his body's strength. Not even mentioning 64 times. Those able to train to the 5th level of 32 times could be counted on one's fingers. From this, one could see how difficult it was to reach the limit of the universe. Whether it was soul amplitude or body amplitude, not even mentioning reaching the limit of the universe. Just reaching 50 times was already enough to stop countless absolute beings. Demon note inheritance. Even if many Emperor-level Undyings received the inheritance and had such miraculous encounters, many still couldn't complete the first level. Those that didn't had such miraculous encounters naturally had even fewer. The pinnacle level of the 10,000 hearts technique, 10,000 hearts, required one's spirit energy amplitude to reach 10,100 times. However, even the creator didn't manage to train it, it was just a dream. That demon note inheritance was left in Demon Mountain for countless years. Yet not a single one was able to receive the complete inheritance. Difficult. Extremely difficult. The so-called limit of the universe had already stopped Hiroto, the creator of the 10,000 hearts technique and countless other absolute beings. And Luo Feng's golden horned beast. The true amplification techniques were deities of the world and the natural talent strengthening technique. Deities of the world could amplify by 5 times, while the natural talent strengthening technique could amplify by 2 times. So with its natural talent, the golden horned beast could only amplify by 10 times. Of course, because of the nameless manual within the mysterious black metal board, it allowed the golden horned beast to evolve and amplify by 3 times. However, this was genetic evolution. It belonged to the basics, and it wasn't an instantaneous amplification technique. Like the blood river energy, using the blood river energy to instantly change the genes of the right claw, causing the golden horned beast's right claw to be closer to the beast god claw, causing the attack of the right claw to reach 11 times its original strength. However, this also belonged to the genes themselves, and not some amplification technique. Hence the genes and bloodline are very important. Luo Feng thought within. If the genes and bloodline are good, one's basics will far surpass the opponent. Similarly, Sector Lord Pinnacle, the golden horned beast's body's attack is 10 times that of a human Sector Lord Pinnacle. 10 times on the basics. I have to say that Black Metal Board's nameless manual is really terrifying. Luo Feng couldn't help but exclaim. The Black Metal Board and the incomplete nameless tome he had obtained on Earth only had the first level. Even the first level was priceless. Normally, when one reaches the Domain Lord Pinnacle or Sector Lord Pinnacle, one's body wouldn't be able to improve anymore. However, with this nameless manual, it could raise the normal genetic limit by 3 times. This wasn't an instantaneous amplification, but a true genetic evolution, forcefully raising one's basics. This definitely went against the laws of the universe. A manual that goes against the laws of the universe, it's a pity it only has the first level. Luo Feng sighed within. If it had all 9 levels, this nameless manual's value would definitely far surpass any other technique I know of. The first, beast-god transformation, was a body amplification technique, similar to deities of the world, demon note inheritance and many other body amplification techniques. The second technique, beast-god weapon, was a secret technique that used the spirit weapon, the beast-god weapon, to attack. This was the true technique that allowed Hiroto to roam the universe and kill countless people. That seemingly simple weapon, the beast-god weapon, if it was in Hiroto's hands, would have the power to destroy the heavens and the earth, and sweep through millions and millions of races. The third technique, beast-god roar, this was a soul defense technique, similar to Luo Feng's current Tower of the Void, however it was much more advanced than the Tower of the Void. No matter who it was, as long as one had a soul, this soul defense technique was a must-learn. Hiroto was a spirit reader sect, so the soul defense type secret technique he created was naturally extremely powerful. The fourth, Beast God Rush, was a technique used to escape. The universe was vast and mysterious, with dangers lurking everywhere. Being strong was one aspect, but what truly determined how long one could live was actually the ability to escape. Like the undying knight who had gone through life and death situations time and time again, treating the universe's secret regions as his own backyard, he still didn't die. Like the primal chaos tablet protector, having many powerful clones, it was also a life-saving technique. This beast god rush, once trained well, one's chances of surviving in the same danger would increase by 10 times. 4 manuals. 1 for body amplification, 1 for spirit weapon attack, 1 for soul defense and 1 for escaping. The names of the 4 secret arts are really interesting. Beast God Transformation, Beast God Weapon, Beast God Roar, Beast God Dash. Haha, no wonder they are a series of secret arts created with the ultimate goal of Beast God. Luo Feng smiled. Babata, who was sitting on his shoulder, suddenly shouted, "Luo Feng, why aren't there any soul amplification techniques?" "How would I know?" Luo Feng shook his head. What he didn't know was, the Beast God was a body-type technique, and not a soul-type technique. Hence training the gold and space fusion laws, with the Beast God as its ultimate goal, within the entire set of techniques. There was only the body amplification Beast God transformation, there was no soul amplification technique. As for Hero himself, of course he had other fortuitous encounters and knew the soul amplification techniques, it was just that they weren't created by Hero himself. For manuals, every one was important and profound. After studying them carefully, Luo Feng was shocked. He didn't even have the mood to create them. What the Primal Chaos City leader teacher said was right. First learn the powerful techniques of the seniors, study them thoroughly, and when the day comes that they aren't suitable for you, you'll naturally create your own. Right now, it was better to be down to earth and learn Hero's 4 manuals. "Do, Luo Feng, there's a call request," Babata shouted. "Connect." Luo Feng gently tapped in mid-air and a screen appeared. A white-haired and bearded old man appeared on the screen. It was the Primal Region Manager Aita. He bowed slightly. "Your Majesty Luo Feng, there's a chest here to store the manuals." Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. The Primal Chaos City leader had said before that he would send someone to explain the Wu killing wings. "I'll be right there." Luo Feng immediately closed the call, so he flew out of the window. Rushing into the sky, he flew like lightning towards the entrance of the Primal Region. In a blink of an eye, he arrived. At the entrance of the Primal Region, there were a few female servants, there was even the white-haired undying AI Tua. He was holding a silver chest. Standard Beast God Weapon, the Primal Chaos City leader teacher doesn't really care. However, he says that the Wu killing wings is a treasure that has never been seen before. I wonder what mysteries it has. Luo Feng was clear that such a treasure with his own strength would take a very long time to understand. Reading the records would be faster. Thanks. Luo Feng landed and extended his hand to receive the silver chest. Haha, I heard Your Majesty Luo Feng has become the direct disciple of the primal Chaos City leader. Congratulations. Ai Tua said passionately. Luo Feng looked shocked at him. This primal region manager was indeed well informed. Chapter 760. Carrying the silver suitcase, he returned to his own villa. Luo Feng sat on the sofa and opened the suitcase. Within it was a gray-covered book. Picking up the book, he opened it. So it's like that. Luo Feng nodded and continued reading. Wu Killer Wings. A treasure suitable for warriors who train in the space and gold fusion laws. It was because it was the most suitable for training in the space and gold fusion laws, hence the primal Chaos City leader chose this treasure for Luo Feng. The origins of this Wu Killer Wings were a mystery. Its material was extremely sturdy too. Even an overlord like the Universe Lord wouldn't be able to destroy it. The primal Chaos City leader didn't walk the path of the beast god. Naturally, he couldn't use it perfectly. However, the primal Chaos City leader's eyes were extremely sharp. He analyzed the abilities of the Wu Killer Wings. The main function of the Wu Slaying Wings was to escape. According to the primal Chaos City leader's research, the Wu Killer Wings should have 3 forms. The first form was the normal form. After training the scale armor of the 7 transformations, one would be able to use it normally. With this Wu Killer Wings, one would be able to fly like a demon. The second form, the body of the Wu Killer Wings would change. After training the bone part of the 3rd level of the 7 transformations, one would be able to unleash the second form. The moment it was unleashed, one would be able to control the space turbulence. Within the turbulence, that would be the territory of the owner of the Wu Killer Wings. The third form, after training the horn part of the 5th level of the 7 transformations, one would be able to unleash the third form. The moment it was unleashed, it would form space tides. Flying within the space tides, the Wu Killer Wings wouldn't be affected. Of course, as the Wu Killer Wings material was special, even Universe Lords couldn't destroy it. Hence, as long as the wings closed and wrapped around one's body, it would be a defensive treasure. It would also have the effect of deflecting attack. And the feathers of the Wu Killer Wings weren't real feathers. Each one was as sharp as a blade. When flying, one could use the wings to attack. It would be like a blade cutting through everything. There's a technique at the back of this book. Most of the human races don't have wings. There are very few techniques on how to unleash them. You've probably never cultivated this kind of secret technique before. However, this set of Wu Slaying Wings should be the strongest treasure you have. In order to better unleash the power of the Wu Slaying Wings, I've prepared a secret art for you, the Universe Division. This is a secret art that focuses on space and contains the laws of metal. The ability to escape was very important. After researching Beast God and Universe Division, Luo Feng immediately began to search through the golden horned beast's inherited memories for technique. One must know that the golden horned beast had scaled wings, and within the sea of techniques within the inherited memories, there were techniques that used wings. Luo Feng carefully studied them. After reading Beast God and Universe Division, Luo Feng's horizons had broadened. He quickly found a specialized flying escape technique from his inherited memories. This technique had some similarities with Beast God and Universe Division. Its name was 3 Universe Traversal. Of my 3 clones, the Golden Horned Beast is the strongest. Naturally, it's a powerful alliance. This Wu Slaying Wings will be for the Golden Horned Beast to use. And this 3 Universe Traversal was created by an ancestor of the Golden Horned Beast's history. It's most suitable for the Golden Horned Beast. I'll use 3 Universe Traversal as my main, Beast God and Universe Division as my support. Within the study, on the screen was a silhouette shrouded in mist. That silhouette said solemnly, Primal Region Sector Lord Member Luo Feng, you've once passed the domain Lord Primal Sky Mountain, hence the Virtual Universe Company has rewarded you with 3 billion points. You should rely on these 3 billion points to strengthen yourself. That way, you'll have a higher chance of survival in the upcoming war against the foreign regions. Understood. Luo Feng stood before the screen. I hope you'll be able to survive the war against the foreign regions. The silhouette finished and immediately hung up. Luo Feng grinned, a bit of excitement in his eyes. It's finally here. 3 billion points. Luo Feng checked his points balance. Indeed, 3 billion had been transferred. I'll first search for the materials needed to train deities of the world. Luo Feng sat in front of his laptop and began to search for information. Even though he had checked before, he hadn't studied how to use the least amount of points to get the most out of it. Babata, carefully calculate for me these 3 billion points. Can raise my deities of the world to what level? Yes, calculating now. Babata blinked on his shoulder. Calculation complete. 3 billion points can raise the golden horned beasts deities of the world to a level of 9 times. Babata said. The first level raised it by 3 times. The second level raised it by 9 times. However, it required over 10 billion points to complete the second level. 9 times? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. How many points does 5 times require? 12 billion points. Babata said. Very good. Luo Feng nodded. Help me exchange. Without hesitation, he went to exchange for the materials. Because he was very clear on the theory of strong alliances, that golden horned beast was over 100 times stronger than his earth body. Even if he raised his earth body's strength by a few times, it wouldn't be of any use to him. He might as well raise the golden horned beast's strength. Exchange successful, a total of 12 billion points. The materials will be sent to Primal Chaos City within 6 months. Babata had just finished. He couldn't help but scream out, damn, 11 billion points, and this is even with your high authority and discount. If it's money, even 5 billion mixed elements might not be enough. Wow, it's enough to make a poor emperor-level undying go bankrupt. Luo Feng smiled. He continued to search the screen for the Cloud Contact Vine, Star-Eating Grass and Bug Clan Queen to evolve to undying. To let the Cloud Contact Vine and Star-Eating Grass evolve to undying, the price was very high. And there wasn't a single plan that had a 100% guarantee. For example, the 100 Vine Star-Eating Grass Best Plan had an 80% chance of becoming an undying, however the price required was 86 million points. The 300 Vine Star-Eating Grass, the best plan had a 60% chance of becoming an undying, however the price was 920 million points. The 1000 Vine Star-Eating Grass, the best plan had a 30% chance of becoming an undying, however the price was close to 120 billion points. The higher it went, the more terrifying the price, and the chances of becoming an undying were getting lower and lower. If anyone spent 120 billion points and the 1000 Vine Star-Eating Grass failed to evolve, they would probably die of heartache. The 108 Vine Cloud Contact Vine, the best plan had a 80% chance of becoming an undying, however the price was 1 million points. The 216 Vine Cloud Contact Vine, the best plan had a 50% chance of becoming an undying, however the price was 53 billion points. The 360 Vine Cloud Contact Vine, the best plan had a 40% chance of becoming an undying, however the price was 6 billion points. These were all the best plans. If the price was low, one could still use a few weaker plans, however the chances of becoming an undying would be low. Back then, Hu Yenbo successfully nurtured an undying Cloud Contact Vine. There was indeed a lot of luck involved. Because of his investment back then, the plan wasn't good. The success rate was only 40%, and he finally succeeded. Exchange for many treasures and materials. Exchange for the Time-Space Scribbles 4th volume. 5th volume. 6th volume. Exchange for the automaton race's special weapons. Many of them were forbidden items, however Luo Feng's authority allowed him to purchase them. Even though these automaton weapons were expensive, they could be used by the weak, allowing them to defeat the strong. Spending large amounts of points. Of the 3 billion points, he was left with a pitiful 200 million points. The rest were all exchanged for various items, and these items would allow Luo Feng's strength to constantly grow. His methods to deal with danger would constantly increase. Time flowed like water. In a flash, 300 years had passed since Luo Feng became a sector lord, 1,000 years in the actual universe. Within Primal Chaos City, countless training quarters had people sitting crossed-legged on the balconies. Luo Feng sat crossed-legged on the balcony, looking up at the space cracks in the sky and the universe laws. Ha ha ha. Luo Feng suddenly laughed and stood up. In these 300 years, I went to the 9-universe Primal Chaos Tablet to comprehend it a total of 18 times. I finally comprehended the 4th diagram, the star diagram, and the 5th diagram, the galaxy diagram. Luo Feng was overjoyed within. Normally comprehending the 5 pictures of the 9-universe tablet was about the same as passing the 15th level of the Heavenly Bridge, similar to the first level of the 7 God transformations. However, it was much easier than the first level of the 7 God transformations. Plus he had comprehended the 108 essences long ago, along with the 18 consecutive studies. His efficiency was naturally high. If he didn't have to split his attention to the second level of the 7 God transformations, he probably wouldn't even need 300 years. It's a pity the second level of the 7 God transformations is much harder than the first, spending 300 years and I've only scratched the surface. Luo Feng shook his head. So, Luo Feng leapt down and landed downstairs, after which he walked to his door and gently pressed it. The color of the door began to change, returning to a pale white. I've lived here for over 1,200 years. Luo Feng said softly. It's already been 4,000 years in the actual universe. I've spent most of my time here training right now. I can't bear to leave. It's time to go. Luo Feng shook his head. He turned and headed towards his teacher Tru Yan's residence not far from here. Before leaving Primal Chaos City, he had to pay his respects to the 2 teachers. Junior Luo Feng. Junior. Walking in the residence, he would occasionally see a few seniors warmly greeting Luo Feng. They all knew that this junior Luo Feng had become the direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. Naturally, they treated him even more warmly. Teacher is over there. The seniors guided. Luo Feng came to a courtyard. Enter. A voice resounded from within. Luo Feng walked into the courtyard, seeing Tru Yan sitting by a wine table. Before him was a bamboo-shaped wine flask. Teacher. Luo Feng bowed respectfully. You're leaving? Tru Yan continued to drink. Yes. Luo Feng bowed respectfully. Tru Yan looked at Luo Feng. Go, just don't lose face for your teacher. Luo Feng knelt down respectfully, very solemnly bowing and bidding farewell, after which he stood up. Teacher, your disciple is leaving. He turned and walked out. Tru Yan looked at Luo Feng's back. He couldn't help but shout, Come back alive and bring some good wine. Your teacher hasn't drunk any of it yet. Your disciple will definitely bring it back. Luo Feng's voice resounded, however he was already far away. Chapter 761. Today, the 3 chapters have been updated. The 1,200 years of training in the City of Chaos is over, and it's time to go out and explore. The climax of the whole book, Swallowing the Star, was about to begin. It was uploaded in the early morning of July 21st last year, and it would end at the late night of July 20th tomorrow. It was exactly a whole year. So, tomorrow, the tomato must break out, it must break out. Everyone's monthly votes should also be used. Let's rush to the top of the monthly votes. Chapter 762. Walking out of Tru Yan's residence, Luo Feng made up his mind. He had to make a name for himself. Of his 3 true teachers, one was Hu Yen Bo, the second was True Yen, and the third was the primal Chaos City leader. However, in terms of affection, True Yen was ranked number 1. Because he had interacted with True Yen for far too long, and True Yen was extremely attentive to his disciples, just like a father to his son. Just buying the first half of the Mayan 7 transformations for Luo Feng was already a huge favor that was hard to repay. One had to know that True Yen wasn't even a universe knight yet. Buying the first half of the 7 transformations was a huge price. Your Majesty Luo Feng. Your Majesty Luo Feng. The undying guards within the residence said passionately, simultaneously opening up a path. Luo Feng stepped into the residence, very quickly reaching the Primal Chaos Ruins courtyard. Taking a deep breath, he stepped in ********** in this vast ruined continent. All sorts of warriors' corpses could be seen. One had to know that this was reality and not the virtual universe, hence these corpses were all real, and they hadn't decomposed for countless years. Obviously these corpses were all at the undying level, and some of the corpses' energy alone made Luo Feng shocked. Teacher. Luo Feng walked to a man sitting crossed-legged and bowed respectfully. The Primal Chaos City leader stood up and turned to look at Luo Feng. Preparing to leave Primal Chaos City? The leader's eyes were calm and deep like the ocean. Yes. Luo Feng replied. It's time to go out and explore. The leader nodded. Where are you preparing to go first? Universe Secret Region? Outer Region Battlefield? Outer Region Battlefield. Luo Feng said respectfully. Sector Lords had to undergo life and death training. This was the virtual universe company's trillions of years of tradition. Life and death training, there were 2 main ways. One was in the alien battlefields, the other was in the universe secret regions. Both of these places were extremely dangerous. Like the alien battlefields, it was a place where races fought against each other. There were countless warriors from other races hidden within, and an army's combined attack. Even if they were individually weaker than Luo Feng, the army's combined attack could still kill Luo Feng instantly. As for the universe secret regions, they weren't any weaker than the alien battlefields. Just like Luo Feng's senior Kudi had fallen in one of the secret regions. Some of the dangerous secret regions could even cause a universe knight to fall. Outer Territory Battlefield? The Primal Chaos City Master frowned. There are foreign race experts hiding there, and you are my personal disciple. You have long been hailed as an absolute genius of the human race that only appears once in a million eras. Countless foreign race experts have long wanted to kill you. Once you go to the foreign battlefield, I'm afraid. Luo Feng smiled. Your disciple understands. I've been ambushed by the Bug Clan before. Back then my reputation wasn't as big as it is now. That insectoid race spared no expense to attack me in the Wulong starfield. But now I'm afraid they're willing to pay an even greater price to kill me. Insect race. The Primal Chaos City Lord let out a cold snort. The surrounding Kangmang continent shook. Luo Feng was shocked within. He could feel the rage in the Primal Chaos City Master's voice when he mentioned the bug race. The mechanical race, the demon race, and the insect race, these 3 peak races are adjacent to the human race's territory. The Primal Chaos City Lord said coldly, because our territories are adjacent to each other, if they want to expand or if they don't want to be invaded, they can only fight. Amongst these 3 races, in terms of craftiness, the bug race is ranked number 1. These bug race have many methods that are extremely crafty. When you go to the foreign battlefield, you have to be the most careful of them. Luo Feng nodded. Yes, teacher. You have to remember, because your senior brother Kudi fell to the bug race. The Primal Chaos City Lord emphasized, his strength, his self-defense methods etc., are much stronger than yours now. You only acquired 3 billion points to purchase large amounts of items etc., and your senior brother Kudi back then passed the Sector Lord Primal Sky Mountain, acquiring 100 billion points. He had much more treasures than you, and had many fortuitous encounters, yet he still fell. Luo Feng's heart trembled, replying, "Your disciple will remember." Right. He thought he had many methods, however Hu Yenbo, who had never personally taught him, told Babata to leave a message for him before he died. He had to respect the universe and always remain humble. This was the thought of a lone undying roaming the universe. I must never be arrogant, a moment of carelessness and I might lose my life. Luo Feng warned himself. The war between the races is extremely cruel, because it's a war for survival. And after countless years, countless warriors have fallen, causing the hatred between the races to grow. It's long reached a terrifying level. The primal Chaos City Lord turned and surveyed the countless corpses on the vast land. Do you see these corpses? Luo Feng surveyed the area, countless foreign race corpses. Some were over 1,000 kilometers tall, some were short, some were not even half a meter tall, some were metal life forms, some were energy life forms, etc. The energy emanating from the corpses too was strong and weak, some weren't any weaker than a living fire eroding night. These were all personally killed by me. The primal Chaos City Master said softly, "Just me alone killing countless foreign race experts, and that's only less than 10% of the total number of foreign race experts I killed. Most of them were already turned into dust by the shockwaves of the battle. We humans hate the foreign races. The foreign races hate humans. It's hard to say who's right and who's wrong. Maybe no one is wrong, everyone wants to survive. The weaker races want to grow stronger, the stronger races want to stop the other races from growing stronger." The primal Chaos City Lord said softly, "The killing is endless, the hatred is endless. Even though I have the ability to revive the dead, the price for it is too high." Revive the dead? Luo Feng was shocked within. The primal Chaos City Lord looked at Luo Feng. "Universe Lord, you control time and space. Naturally you can reverse time and space. Even if you die, I can reverse time and space and return to the time where you didn't die, reviving you from there." The primal Chaos City Lord shook his head and sighed. "The theory is simple, however the price is very high. After all, for a soul to be destroyed to revive, it goes against the universe laws, and one will suffer the backlash. If I revive an official or emperor undying, I can take the backlash head-on. However, reviving a universe knight, even I would be heavily injured. For example, some of the strongest of the universe's paragons, for example Hiroto, if I were to revive, just the backlash alone would be enough to kill me." The primal Chaos City Master said, "If I were to die, no one would be able to revive me." Luo Feng was shocked. What a terrifying price. The backlash of reviving a universe knight could actually heavily injure the primal Chaos City Lord. Reviving a pinnacle like Hiroto, the backlash could actually kill the primal Chaos City Lord. Reversing time and space, reviving the dead, isn't just the backlash of the universe laws. The primal Chaos City Lord shook his head. This heavenly technique has many flaws, the profoundness within is hard to explain in a short while. It's not that you're dead, I have the confidence to revive you. Like your senior brother Kudi, I have no way of reviving him. Hence you have to be careful, if the other races make a move on you, they will definitely think of ways to prevent me from reviving you. Understood. Luo Feng nodded. Remember, the primal Chaos City Lord emphasized, the most important thing is don't ever get controlled by the soul invasion and become a soul slave. Even my teacher won't be able to do anything about it. Luo Feng was shocked within, so becoming a soul slave meant death. If your soul is invaded and you can't block it, you'd rather self-destruct than become a soul slave. The primal Chaos City Lord stared at Luo Feng. Self-destruct? Luo Feng nodded. This is my token. The primal Chaos City Lord flipped his hand and a golden tag appeared. There was a faint engraving on it, it seemed to be a city. Luo Feng received it respectfully. If you meet with danger and can't handle it, immediately destroy this tag. This tag's material is very weak, it's a C9 grade alloy, you can easily crush it. This tag has my teacher's spirit imprint on it. The moment you crush it, my teacher will immediately know and rush over in a short period of time. The Primal Chaos City Lord emphasized. Luo Feng nodded. Of course, my teacher doesn't wish for you to be forced to use this tag. The Primal Chaos City Lord looked at Luo Feng. My hope is that you can rely on your own strength to become an absolute warrior. That the other races won't be able to touch you. Before you leave, I have one last thing to tell you. Remember, your life preservation technique is number 1. The Primal Chaos City Lord emphasized, with an absolute life preservation technique, the other warriors won't dare mess with you. Like the huge Axe Colosseum's Undying Knight, his strength belongs to the pinnacle of the universe knight, however his life preservation technique is very strong, even universe lords would find it very hard to kill him. The moment you can't kill him, you'll face his revenge. He may not be your match, but he'll be able to take revenge on your disciple, your race. Luo Feng was enlightened as he listened. Right. Those with strong life preservation techniques weren't to be messed with. If you can't kill him, don't attack, otherwise if you offend such an undying enemy, it'll be troublesome. I don't expect you to reach the level of the Undying Knight. His life preservation technique is ridiculous. However, you have to improve your life preservation techniques as much as possible. The Primal Chaos City Lord emphasized, no matter when, don't think you're definitely safe, even at my level, I don't dare say such things. Your disciple will remember. Luo Feng said respectfully and gratefully. Go. Go out and explore. The Primal Chaos City Lord waved his hand. Luo Feng knelt down and bid farewell to his teacher. Shua. Luo Feng was teleported out of the Primal Chaos Ruins. Luo Feng glanced at the Primal Chaos Ruins courtyard, after which he turned and left. Primal Universe Primal Chaos City and the Primal Universe Virtual Universe Company's headquarters were frequently visited by universe ships through the universe pathway. Luo Feng decided to leave today. Naturally, he checked the information and applied to leave. So, Luo Feng rushed into the sky, flying above Primal Chaos City. There was a shuttle-shaped huge universe ship park. Your Majesty Luo Feng, we're all prepared. An undying purple-clothed man stood at the cabin door, smiling passionately. Luo Feng turned and gazed below, looking at Primal Chaos City. This was where he had lived for 1,200 years. It was where his teacher Tru Yen and the Primal Chaos City leader were. Let's go. Luo Feng flew straight into the universe ship. Hua. The cabin door officially closed. Rumble, the universe ship began to move, flying into the depths of the chaos energy flow. Today was the first-year anniversary of swallowing space. Tomato would explode today. He would do his best to explode. Right now, the difference in votes had gotten bigger, but Tomato was confident. He could catch up. Brothers, please support Tomato. Monthly votes. Tomato needed monthly votes. Chapter 763. Actual Universe, Virtual Universe Company Headquarters. This was a vast continent, even bigger than the Golden Horn race's home continent. This was the Virtual Universe Company Headquarters, main camp. Rumble, at the center of the headquarters continent, two tall gates automatically opened, revealing a beautiful pathway. This was the Universe Pathway. Connecting the Primal Universe to the Primal Universe, a universe ship slowly flew out, after which it accelerated, flying for a few minutes. It finally landed in a distribution center. Hua. The cabin door opened. Your Majesty Luo Feng, please. Your Majesty Luo Feng. The others at the cabin door were all very warm and humble. Even the two Emperor-level Undyings that were on the same ship stood aside, letting Luo Feng go first. Every direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader would be publicly announced, and every disciple's status was incomparably high. Luo Feng's status and authority was even higher than most Emperor-level Undyings. Luo Feng took a step forward and landed on the ground. Your Majesty Luo Feng, follow this path and you'll be able to swiftly leave the headquarters. And following this path will lead you to the Space Tunnel Number 3 Distribution Center. The ship's manager guided passionately from the side. Thanks. Luo Feng smiled. It's my duty, the manager replied. Luo Feng turned and walked alone towards the pathway to the Space Tunnel Number 3 Distribution Group. Following this sealed pathway, Luo Feng easily reached 100,000 kilometers per second. After a few minutes, he walked out of the pathway. Luo Feng looked at the scene before him. He couldn't help but exclaim, 36 fixed space pathways. These 36 fixed pathways led to the human territory's 36 divisions. One had to know that relying on the God Country teleportation consumed a shocking amount of energy, and these fixed pathways connected the headquarters and many divisions, with many undyings passing through. Due to the large amount, the cost was low. The cost was low. Even if one could use the God Country teleportation, they would rather use these pathways. Saving money. Luo Feng naturally wasn't lacking in money, and after nurturing the 3-star eating grass and cloud contact vine, he had finally nurtured the 100 vine star eating grass to an undying. It was indeed able to teleport to the God Country. However, the 100 vine star eating grass had been an undying for too long. It didn't leave any tokens in other parts of the universe, hence it couldn't teleport to the place it needed to go. Yes. Now that the 100 vine star eating grass has become undying, I have to find a few places to hide its undying crystals. Luo Feng thought, at the crucial moment, I'll be able to teleport to those places. Your Majesty Luo Feng. A green-skinned man dressed in exquisite clothing walked over from afar. His entire body rippled with boundless vitality. Undying? Luo Feng looked suspiciously at him. The staff around were mostly sector lords and domain lords. Very few undyings were allowed to do odd jobs. From the looks of it, this undying should be the leader here. Your Highness has applied to go to the 9th Division. We have already received the news, so I, Poo Cash, have been waiting here for Your Highness. Your Highness, please follow me. The green-skinned man smiled. Thanks. Luo Feng smiled. Haha, of course. Receiving Luo Feng's thanks, this Poo Kashi, who was in charge of the Space Tunnel Number 3, immediately smiled, passionately leading Luo Feng to a space tunnel. The space tunnel, at first glance, looked like a rippling water screen. Division 9 is the closest place to the Wu-Long Star region, Poo Pukash said enthusiastically. Luo Feng nodded. With one step, he entered the water screen. The fixed space tunnel used the God Country as a transit point, and the undyings with the God Country were basically giving it up, of course. Under such circumstances, their God Countries were incomparably safe. Passing through the space tunnel, he instantly arrived over 100 million light-years away, after which he sat on the UNMO planet ship and headed towards the Wu-Long Star region. Within the ship's control room, Luo Feng was enjoying a glass of fruit wine, simultaneously thinking about something. Right now we're moving at 50 times light speed. We'll reach the Wu-Long Star region in half a month. Babata said. Luo Feng nodded, simultaneously connecting to the Virtual Universe network. Virtual Universe Yuxiang Mountain Primal Region. Sitting at his desk, Luo Feng gently tapped on his notebook screen. Buying 10,000 Sector Lord Pinnacle Bug Corpses. Confirmed. After the 40% discount, it's 60 million points. The points have been deducted. Luo Feng looked at his remaining points on the screen. Right now he was left with about 180 million points. He couldn't help but sigh that he didn't have enough. However, good steel had to be used where it mattered most. Buying 10,000 Sector Lord Pinnacle Bug Corpses had long been part of his plans. Your Majesty Luo Feng, you've just bought 10,000 Sector Lord Bug Corpses. May I know where to send them? A beautiful voice resounded from the screen. I'll head to the Wu-Long Star region to buy them, Luo Feng said, after which the call was cut. Luo Feng revealed a smile and his consciousness returned. Luo Feng's internal world was vast and endless. Bug Clan Island. Countless Sector Lord Pinnacle Tiger Bug Clan that reached 30m lived on this island. There were also a few 20m tall. Their bodies were sleek and sleek. There were also a few that were only 6m tall. And in the center of the entire Bug Clan Island, there was a Bug Clan mother nest that was over 1,000m tall. So, the Masha black-clothed Luo Feng appeared in mid-air above the Bug Clan Island. Alina. Luo Feng gazed below. Master. A streak of light flew out from the mother nest. It was none other than the peerlessly beautiful Queen Irina. Rumble. Millions of Sector Lord Pinnacle Bug Clan all knelt down respectfully, expressing their respect to Luo Feng. 3 million Tiger Beetle Clan Army, 10,000 Emperor Hunter Army, 1,000 Emperor Level Army. Black-clothed Luo Feng smiled. Irina, you've done well. It's my honor to be of service to Master. Alina's voice was gentle. Luo Feng nodded. The last time he brought 400 Sector Lord Bug corpses from the Wulong Star region, of which the 300 he brought from the assassination wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best. It was able to produce about 3 million Tiger Clansmen, and the 100 he bought were extremely good. He could produce about 1.8 million Tiger Clansmen. The two combined, finally producing 3 million Tiger Clansmen army, 10,000 Emperor Hunter army, and 1,000 Emperor level team. The Bug Clan Queen's control of the number of bug soldiers was actually limited. For example, if every single one of them could unleash Origin Law attacks, then she could at most control 10,000. That was the limit. The moment the numbers exceeded 10,000, she wouldn't be able to make every single one of them unleash Origin Law attacks. As the numbers grew, her control would get rougher and rougher. Once it reached 1 million, the Queen could at most make countless bug soldiers attack together, retreat together. As for that, she wouldn't be able to unleash any exquisite attack. Once it exceeded 1 million, reaching millions, 10 million, the Queen wouldn't even be able to make all the bug soldiers attack a single point. 10,000 is a hurdle. 1 million is another hurdle. Luo Feng thought. The number of bug soldiers within 10,000, every single one of them are incomparably exquisite, even infused with origin laws, comparable to humans. Within 1 million, it can be said to be the perfect army, incomparably coordinated, attacking wherever I point. Once it exceeds 1 million, the command becomes messy. This was also the reason why the Undying Bug Clan mother nest couldn't control more than 10,000 Undying Bug soldiers. Alina. Luo Feng said. Master. Alina said respectfully. I'm preparing to create a 1 million Emperor Bug army. Luo Feng said. Bug Emperor, 1 million army? Alina was shocked. HM. Luo Feng nodded. The Emperor Tiger Clan army. The Tiger Clansmen were large in size, strong in defense and strength. Compared to the Hunting Mantis clan, they were only slightly weaker in terms of speed and agility, but they weren't weaker in other aspects. To a 1 million army, there was no requirement for speed and agility. Master, to create a Sector Lord Pinnacle Tiger Emperor, the price is equivalent to creating 100 Sector Lord Pinnacle Normal Tiger Clansmen. Alina said. The Tiger Emperor's entire body shell toughness, strength, unleashing energy attacks, are all about 10 times that of normal Tiger Clansmen. Alina said. 1 million Tiger Armored Bug Army against a 10,000 Emperor Tiger Army. The 1 million Bug Army would definitely win. However, a 100 million Tiger Armored Bug Army against a 1 million Emperor Tiger Army, the 1 million Emperor Tiger Army would definitely win. As it exceeded 1 million, just Alina alone, the Queen couldn't precisely control that many warriors. Master, are you sure you want to create them? Alina asked. Luo Feng nodded. How long will it take to complete? It'll actually be faster. Alina said. Because I can continuously produce large amounts of star-level and universe-level tiger armored bugs, the burden on me is actually much smaller. It's just that during the process of them killing and devouring each other, they'll expend a lot of energy, and during the killing, they'll produce Sector Lord Pinnacle Tiger Emperor. I'll be able to produce about 100 a day. 100 a day, a million Sector Lord Emperor army, that'll take 30 years. Luo Feng nodded. It's been hard on you, Alina. Luo Feng said. It's not hard at all. Alina was overjoyed. Producing bug soldiers is a way for the queen to strengthen herself. I've never had so many materials in the past for me to produce so many bug soldiers. Luo Feng smiled. The bug corpses will arrive in about a month and a half. The ship continued to advance. After a month and a half of flight, they finally reached the Wulong starfield. Wulong starfield. Luo Feng stood in the control room of the universe ship, looking at the distant space filled with endless amounts of cargo, blocking up the entire space. A million Sector Lord Emperor army. And the mysterious silver shell armor. These two are the two most important trump cards in my plan. Finally, I'm about to get them. P.S. Chapter 2 has arrived. Continue writing Chapter 3. The difference in votes was now 1,500. Seeking votes. Chapter 764. Wulong Star Area, inside the palace of King Longju. At this moment, the 5 great managers of the Wulong Starfield had gathered together. The world is unpredictable. The last time Luo Feng was so pitifully bullied by Candle Emperor. In the blink of an eye, how long has it been? It's only been a few thousand years. Emperor Long Ke shook his head and laughed. The tables have turned. Candle Emperor is now trapped in the 9th Starfield prison, 1,000 eras in prison, while Luo Feng has soared, becoming the direct disciple of the primal Chaos City leader. King Longju, you have to help out a little this time. The tall and skinny De To Emperor placed his wine glass down. Back when Candle Emperor attacked Luo Feng, we didn't even stop him, I'm afraid. Luo Feng still remembers. And the Hidden Dagger King also nodded slightly. King Longju, we'll have to rely on you to mediate. King Shiyu also said. To be able to manage the business sector meant that they knew how to conduct themselves. They were clear, even though Luo Feng couldn't do anything to them right now, and they weren't from the same power as Luo Feng, they weren't afraid for now. But what about the future? If he continued to grow at this rate, he might even become a new venerable flame eater. Once he had enough power, it would be easy to deal with him. There were many narrow-minded experts who would seek revenge for the smallest grievance. Hahad, rest assured. King Longju smiled and nodded, but in his heart, he was quite proud of himself. By helping them resolve some conflicts, King Hidden Spear, King De Diong, and King Jiu, you would owe him a favor. I too have to thank Your Majesty. Luo Feng. A similarly handsome man who had been sitting beside him smiled. In terms of handsomeness, the Candle Monarch was so handsome that it was hard to distinguish between a man and a woman. However, one could tell that this handsome man was a man at a glance. If it wasn't for Your Majesty Luo Feng, I wouldn't be able to sit here. The handsome man smiled. Haha, Qiyun Emperor, you have to thank Luo Feng. Yes, indeed. Otherwise, how could Candle King be chased away so easily? The other 4 laughed and said. Suddenly, my lord, a sector lord dressed in silver armor rushed in and knelt respectfully. Your Majesty Luo Feng, the ship has arrived. Luo Feng, Longju and the other 4 were shocked. What? The 5 of them stood up at the same time. Let's go and welcome them, King Dewei said. Yes. The 5 heads walked out at the same time. As they were clear of Luo Feng's relationship with Long Ke King, they also predicted that Luo Feng would be the first to arrive at Long Ke King's place. Hence, the other 4 had gathered here early, just to welcome Luo Feng. Outside the palace, Luo Feng had already kept the Yun-Mo planet ship and was standing outside the palace. Luo Feng. A rough voice resounded. Luo Feng turned to look, seeing the 5 that walked out together. He smiled. Long K Emperor, Oh Deto Emperor, Hidden Spear Emperor and Rain Emperor are here too. Towards those 3 titled Undyings, even though he didn't hate them, he didn't have a good impression of them either. Back then when Candle Emperor wanted to lock him up in the Starfield prison, those 3 were like transparent people, not stopping him at all. We knew you were coming, we've been waiting for you here. The tall and skinny Dadai Emperor smiled. Oh. Luo Feng nodded but didn't say anything. Luo Feng, let me introduce you. King Long Ju smilingly pointed at the handsome man next to him. This is King Qi Yun from the Great Axe Arena. King Qi Yun? Luo Feng looked over. Damn. Yet another handsome man. Back then Candle Emperor was already so handsome it was hard to tell if he was a man or a woman. Even though this man before him wasn't as powerful as Candle Emperor, he was still an absolute beauty. The Great Axe Colosseum sent out an Emperor-level Undying. Why are they all so handsome? Luo Feng muttered within. Greetings, Your Majesty. King Qiyun smiled. I've just taken up this position, haha, speaking of which, I have to thank Your Majesty. If it wasn't for Your Majesty, causing Candle Emperor to be locked up in the 9th Starfield prison, I wouldn't have been able to take up this position, thank you Your Majesty. Luo Feng smiled when he heard this. Looks like this King Qiyun and Candle Emperor didn't get along. Luo Feng, let's go in, let's sit down and talk. Long Ju said. Go, let's talk inside. Your Majesty, please. They were all extremely passionate. Luo Feng gave them face and entered the palace with the 5 managers welcoming him. This scene made the sector lords guarding the door all mutter within, what kind of background did he have to actually make the 5 managers welcome him like that? Within the palace, a sumptuous banquet was laid out and the 6 sat down. In a blink of an eye, 4,000 years have passed. 4,000 years ago, Luo Feng was still a normal Primal Region member. Now you've become the direct disciple of the Primal Region city leader. Long Ju raised his wine cup. I respect you, come, for this cheers. Cheers. Everyone raised their cups, Luo Feng followed suit, finishing it in one gulp. Luo. Long Ju was about to speak, Luo Feng smiled. Long Ju, let's talk later. This time I came to the Wulong Starfield mainly to buy some Bug Clan corpses. Of course I'd like to go to the Trash Mountain to play. Let's talk business first, we'll talk after that. Alright, let's talk business. Long Ju nodded. It's time to talk business. Business is more important. The other managers all gave Luo Feng face. Luo Feng sighed within. There was a saying on Earth. If you're poor, no one cares about you. If you're rich, you have relatives deep in the mountains. It was the same logic. When he was weak, these Emperor-level Undyings wouldn't care about him. Before him, they would all be cold or arrogant. Regardless, they wouldn't all smile and welcome him. However, when he became the direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader, one word from him, and they would all agree. Forget it. Luo Feng's unhappiness with them dissipated. These people in charge of the business department are used to doing things like this. Luo Feng, you want to buy 10,000 Sector Lord Pinnacle Bug Clan corpses, since you've already paid for them, then it's simple. Long Ju smiled. We'll arrange for people to head straight to the goods storage area and bring those 10,000 Bug Clan corpses over. Oh, this business is huge, we'll have to go through the other 4 as well. No problem. Of course we will choose the best 10,000 Zerg corpses for your highness. Relax. Qiyun Emperor was still fine, but Detua Emperor, Hidden Spear Emperor and Rain Emperor were obviously very passionate. Obviously they wanted to use this opportunity to make up for the misunderstanding between the two sides. Their goal had been achieved. Luo Feng's anger also calmed down after seeing this. About how long? Luo Feng asked. Within 10 days. Long Ju Emperor said confidently. That fast? Luo Feng was shocked. The last time he bought 100 Bug Clan corpses, it took a long time. This time it was 10,000, it was even shorter than the last time. We'll arrange for 100 people to go directly to each location to collect the best quality Bug Clan corpses. Hidden Spear Emperor smiled. Of course it's fast, Your Majesty just needs to rest here. After 10 days, you'll be able to get the corpses. During the 10 days in the Wulong Starfield, Long Ju Emperor and the other four thought of ways to let Luo Feng have fun. In these short 10 days, it made Luo Feng realize the importance of strength and status. Luo Feng. Long Ju Emperor's voice resounded throughout the entire palace. Luo Feng walked out of his living quarters. Two maids were waiting at the door to be summoned. In the distance, Long Ju Emperor swiftly walked over, one step crossing over 1,000 kilometers. Long Ju Emperor. Luo Feng smiled. What's up, have you gathered all the Bug Clan corpses? They're all here. Long Ju Emperor smiled and nodded, flipping his hand and taking out a black world ring. The 10,000 Bug Clan corpses are all within. Luo Feng happily received it. This world ring was ownerless. He easily used his world energy to permeate it and began to carefully inspect the 10,000 Sector Lord Pinnacle Bug corpses. With one look, Luo Feng couldn't help but reveal a look of glee. Long Ju Emperor, Dato Emperor and Hidden Spear Emperor, these five are truly generous. Luo Feng was happy within. These 10,000 Bug Clan corpses, their average quality is actually better than the 100 I bought before. The 100 Sector Lord Bug corpses he bought before could produce about 1.8 million tiger beetles. It was considered exceptional, and according to the Virtual Universe Network's order, Luo Feng had a rough estimate of the quality. If he had gotten the delivery back then, the 100 bug corpses would have been enough to produce 1 million tiger beetles. Meaning, the 10,000 bug corpses he ordered would be enough to produce 1 million tiger beetle emperors. And Luo Feng was surprised to discover, personally coming here to purchase, the 10,000 bug corpses the 5 leaders gave him was enough to produce 2 million tiger beetle emperors. It's doubled. 60 million points, yet I'm able to buy 120 million points worth of goods. These 5 leaders are really giving me face. Luo Feng was happy within, of course. This is humanity's total wealth, they didn't pay for it themselves. If Datua Emperor and the others were to pay, they probably wouldn't be so generous. Long Ju Emperor looked at Luo Feng's happy expression and laughed loudly. How is it, not bad, right? Very good, these bug corpses are all not bad. Luo Feng nodded. Bug corpses, some are good, some are bad. This time Dato Emperor, Hidden Spear Emperor and Rain Emperor have all contributed a lot. They've brought all the high-quality bug corpses they have. Long Ju Emperor smiled. The 3 of them actually wanted to make up for what happened before. I hope you don't mind. I understand, Flame Emperor is behind Flame Emperor. I understand why they did what they did. Luo Feng nodded and smiled. I don't blame them. Haha, that's good. Long Ju Emperor nodded. After taking the benefits, it was considered an apology from the other party. Luo Feng naturally didn't blame them. I remember you wanted to go to the Trash Mountain to search for treasure. Long Ju Emperor asked, how long do you plan to search for treasure? Not more than 100 years, Luo Feng said. His goal this time was to gather the silver shell pieces to form a set of silver armor. According to Luo Feng's estimation, 10 years or so would be enough to gather one. Oh, here are 100 world rings. Every world ring represents Luo Feng. You can search there for a year. Long Ju Emperor flipped his hand and took out 100 silver rings. At the same time, I'll send you a surveillance network map. With your authority, you can view it. When that time comes, you can freely search for treasure within the Wulong Starfield. No need for others to follow you. Even though the difference in the monthly rankings was huge, don't worry, there were still 11 days till the end of the month, it was still early. Don't worry. Tomato will work hard, and our Red Alliance has many brothers and sisters. As long as everyone works together and works hard, getting first place definitely won't be a problem. I believe in it. Tomato will continue writing the 4th chapter. Everyone work hard. Monthly votes first. Chapter 765. Luo Feng extended his hand to receive the 100 world rings. Such a large transaction usually meant free treasure hunting opportunities. Buying 10,000 bug corpses was 100 times more than the last time. Of course he would be able to treasure for free for 100 years. Freedom, it's better to treasure hunt in the Wulong starfield. Luo Feng smiled. Haha, connect to the virtual universe network. Emperor Long Ke said, I want to send the surveillance images to you. This level has to go through the virtual universe system's verification. Luo Feng nodded. The virtual universe system had many functions, witness, verification, etc. Like the Universe First Bank, Universe Galaxy Bank, Universe Mercenary Alliance, Battle Axe Dojo, they all had to rely on the virtual universe network. This made Luo Feng realize how powerful the virtual universe system was, but he still couldn't help but be shocked. After a while, Luo Feng received the authorization. The screen on his arm displayed the entire Wulong starfield's surveillance images. Emperor Long Ke, I'll head in first to treasure hunt. Luo Feng smiled. Congratulations on acquiring the treasures. Emperor Long Ke said. Haha. Luo Feng laughed, becoming a beam of light and leaving the palace. Watching Luo Feng leave, Emperor Long Ke couldn't help but think. He's actually wasting time to go treasure hunt in the Trash Mountain? He's reached Sector Lord level. I think he's about to undergo life and death training. Before that, he wants to relax and go treasure hunt. Poor punk, I wonder if he'll be able to endure the life and death training. In history, there were too many absolute geniuses that fell in life and death training. Without going through the training, one would never become a true warrior. Humanity knew this was dangerous, but they still let the Sector Lord geniuses go through life and death training. Wulong Starfield, the entire starfield was filled with countless corpses from the race wars. All sorts of corpses filled the space, of course they were still sorted out. The last time I searched for the carapace shard, the leader followed me, it was really troublesome. This time it's good. I'm alone, free. Luo Feng sat in the universe ship, lowering his head to look at the surveillance star map on his arm. There are so many white dots on the map, they should be internal members. This red dot. And my coordinates are also red dot. Looks like it represents an outsider. Very quickly, Luo Feng understood the star map. Actually, the surveillance star map's secret authority wasn't high. One had to know that the internal members all had a copy. With Luo Feng's current authority, he could easily obtain it. Babata, stop here. Understood. The UNMO planet ship decelerated and stopped, returning to the original universe. Puff. In the Wulong starfield, a blood-colored triangular spaceship suddenly appeared at one of the docking points. Luo Feng flew out from the cabin door. Summon. Luo Feng felt the calling, turning to look into the distance. It's that direction, there's a shell shard there. With a flip of his hand, Luo Feng kept the UNMO planet ship and swiftly flew in that direction. His speed swiftly rose, very quickly reaching light speed, moving at about 280,000 kilometers per second. The speed of light was the speed limit of the primordial universe. After accelerating to the speed of light, one would be kicked into the dark universe and complete the universe travel. Undyings could all cross universes with their bodies. Almost all the Sector Lords were unable to do this. Even human Sector Lords could only reach a maximum speed of 150,000 kilometers per second. The main reason was that the Sector Lords' physique wasn't strong enough. Just relying on their physical body to accelerate, as the speed increased, the burden on their bodies would increase. It was an exponential increase. The golden horned beast's body was extremely strong. It could use its body to travel through space. This was extremely rare. Even after training the Nameless Manual, Luo Feng's body quality was 3 times that of a normal Sector Lord pinnacle. He still couldn't reach the level of universe travel. However, Luo Feng had the armor. Back when he was a Domain Lord Pinnacle, he couldn't unleash the armor's full strength. However, now he could. The armor could unleash 1,000 times Sector Lord Pinnacle strength. During acceleration, the armor could withstand 90% of the load, allowing Luo Feng to easily reach 280,000 kilometers per second. If he could reach light speed, it wouldn't be hard. Haha, my luck isn't bad. This time I've already found 2 silver shell shards. Luo Feng was in a trash mountain, his face filled with glee. The last 2 years, I only found 232 black shell shards, 12 silver shards and 1 broken blade. That's how I managed to gather 2 sets of armor. The armor was very mysterious. It had strong defense and could be infused with powerful strength. Also, it had a resistance against spirit energy attack. However, a set of armor with 1,000 times Sector Lord Pinnacle strength was not bad for the Golden Horned Beast back then. However, after 1,200 years in Primal Chaos City, the current Golden Horned Beast was even stronger. Just 1 set of armor alone didn't have much effect on its strength anymore. One had to know that just the Golden Horned Beast's basic strength was 30 times that of a human's. Normal Golden Horned Beasts were 10 times that of a human's, along with the Nameless Manual's 3 times ability amplification, a total of 30 times. Using the Blood River energy to activate the right claw was 11 times, and Deities of the World 5 times, and the Natural Talent Technique 2 times. These 2 amplification methods allowed the body to amplify by 15 times. Calculating it all, it was 4,950 times Sector Lord's strength. The reason why it was so ridiculous was actually because of the Nameless Manual and Blood River energy. Without these 2, the Golden Horned Beast would only be 150 times stronger than a human Sector Lord. It would be the strength of a normal Pinnacle Sector Lord Golden Horned Beast. The Blood River energy and the Nameless Manual caused the Golden Horned Beast's body's overall strength to explode. The armor's use became much smaller. Luo Feng was like a treasure-hunting mouse within the Wulong starfield, searching through the trash mountains for treasures. The difficulty of finding the silver shell shards was very high. At the start, the efficiency was still alright. However, as time went on, it began to drop. Along the way, he even managed to gather a few sets of armor. Obviously, the black shell shards were much easier to find. However, his main target this time was the silver shell shard. Luo Feng didn't give up at all. Actually, Luo Feng split a part of his consciousness to search for treasures. The Golden Horned Beast and Masha clansmen continued to study the second level of the Mayan 7 transformations. Virtual Universe, Black Dragon Mountain Island 9-Star Bay. Dad! Dad! Luo Ping and Luo Hai shouted from outside. Luo Ping, Luo Hai, your dad has just returned and you don't let me gather with him alone. Su Xen said unhappily, come in. These 21 years, hasn't Dad been coming back often? Luo Hai laughed loudly and took a big step in. 2 young men walked in together. Although they had lived for more than 4,000 years, they did not look old at all. Among them, Luo Ping seemed to be more graceful. The entire Luo clan's affairs were mainly managed by him, and he exercised the authority of the clan leader. This made Luo Ping appear to be very calm and naturally had a graceful and luxurious temperament. Luo Hai was the exact opposite. He was like a savage bandit, his entire eyes burning with battle intent. 2 sons, 2 different personalities. Dad, will you still be in the Wulong starfield these 21 years? Luo Hai asked. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. It wasn't easy to gather a set of silver armor, and he hadn't even succeeded yet. What's more, his plan was to gather 2 sets. He had to stay in the Wulong starfield for a while. As the saying goes, sharpening one's knife won't delay the work of cutting wood. Only after completing all his plans would he be able to fully focus on exploring the outer region battlefield. After the Wulong starfield ends, you'll head to the outer region battlefield? Luo Hai couldn't help but ask, Dad, can you bring me along? I have a Sector Lord level plant life to help, it's very safe. You? Luo Feng shook his head, you're still far from it. Even though you have the plant life to help you, you're only a Domain Lord level 9. If you go to the outer region battlefield, you'll just be cannon fodder. If the other alien race's spirit attacks hit you, you'll lose your life. I'll have to be careful in the outer region battlefield too. I won't be able to split my attention to protect you. You should just focus on your training. Adventuring within the human domain is fine, but don't think of going to the outer region battlefield for now. Wait till you reach the Sector Lord pinnacle, and have strength comparable to an undying. Ah. Luo Hai lowered his head and replied. Within the family, Luo Hai feared nothing and was tyrannical. However, he was most afraid of his father Luo Feng. Calm down. Luo Feng ordered. Your resources, others can't even beg for them, you have to cherish them. Understood, Dad. Luo Hai replied. The Luo family was one of the few large families in the Ganwu universe country. Naturally, they had to have some resources. Back then, when Earth was the target of many knights, Luo Feng had left about 10 million mixed elements worth of Luo Godwater in the family during his trade with the Virtual Universe Company to nurture the plant life. 10 million mixed elements of Luo Godwater was enough to nurture up to 100 Sector Lord level 9 plant life forms. And Luo Feng had plenty of Luo Godwater. This was just a drop in the ocean. Of course, the family was still weak now. Without an undying station there, Luo Feng didn't dare leave too many treasures in the family. However, the family base was on Earth, and Earth's safety was without a doubt. HM? Luo Feng's face suddenly revealed a look of glee. What's up, Dad? Luo Hai asked excitedly. Dad? Luo Ping looked curiously at Luo Feng. Good thing. Luo Feng smiled. Wulong Starfield within a trash mountain. How many years has it been? 21 years. I've collected a total of 1,985 black armor pieces, before finally collecting these 113 silver armor pieces. Luo Feng stood within the trash mountain. He had long forced the soldier armor pearl out of his body. The large amounts of silver armor pieces had long been absorbed into his body. It was already undergoing a special change. Absorb. Luo Feng had experienced this change before. He knew very well what it meant. A complete set of silver armor was gathered. Large amounts of silver liquid gathered within his body. It had already been gathered to the limit. Rumble. In an instant, a huge change occurred. Luo Feng felt his entire body tremble, following which a mysterious rune appeared on his chest. This was a very faint silver rune. It was the Flame God race's word. Commander! Luo Feng looked down at the silver rune on his chest, softly muttering, Commander? The 4th chapter was over. Tomato continued writing the 5th. Since he was going all out this month, he had to go all out. His goal, the first place in the monthly votes. Chapter 766. Inspecting the Flame God race word, Luo Feng had many thoughts. The black armor before was the soldier armor. This one seemed to be the general armor. The general imprint followed Luo Feng's thoughts and disappeared under his skin. I'll feel the strength, Luo Feng thought. Rumble. Countless silver threads swiftly spread out with the general imprint as the core, almost as though it was infused into every inch of Luo Feng's muscles and skin, swiftly spreading throughout his entire body. Simultaneously, a flowing silver armor appeared on Luo Feng's skin, a pair of silver boots automatically appeared on his feet, a silver mask appeared on his face, and a helmet appeared on his head. Chi. Luo Feng took a deep cold breath. He felt every part of his muscles and organs hurt, almost like they were about to be ripped apart. This general armor far exceeded the strength of the soldier armor. Luo Feng's activation had already pushed his body to its limit, causing incomparable pain. I can probably only use 1,200 times Sector Lord strength. Luo Feng made his judgment based on his senses. At his level, his judgment of strength was extremely precise. When I use the soldier armor, I can easily use all of its strength. 1,000 times Sector Lord Pinnacle strength. Luo Feng pondered. And according to the golden horned beast's usage of the soldier armor back then, a normal Sector Lord Pinnacle should be able to use it. And I'm 3 times stronger than a normal Sector Lord Pinnacle. However, I can only use 200 times more Sector Lord strength. Luo Feng understood a little. The further he went, the higher the requirements for his body constitution. Looks like my body is still too weak, using the soldier armor is just right. This general armor is too high-end for me. Luo Feng thought. Actually, he wasn't wrong. The soldier armor was the most basic armor, originally meant for Sector Lord Pinnacle to use. And the general armor was for undyings to use. Naturally, the requirements were much harsher. Soldier armor pearl. With a thought, Luo Feng forced the general armor out of his body and transformed it into a general armor pearl. This was a silver ball, smaller than the soldier armor pearl by a size. On the ball, there was a faint imprint of the word general. I'll let the golden horned beast test it out. Its body constitution is much stronger than my earth body. Luo Feng thought. So, he directly kept the pearl into the dark red world ring. The Masha race's clone and core were hidden there. This dark red world ring was a world ring that Luo Feng specially ordered in Primal Chaos City. It was for safety reasons. He specially ordered it, spending 18,000 points. Within the inner world, on the vast prairie. Wu, the mountain-like golden-horned beast raised its head and roared. Its roar was filled with excitement. At the same time, a black armor pearl was forced out and fell on the grass. After which, it lowered its mountain-like head, looking at the little guy's general armor pearl on the ground. It extended its right claw and lightly touched the pearl. Immediately, with a chi-chi, the pearl turned into a silver liquid and entered the golden-horned beast's body. In that instant, the golden-horned beast's chest and abdomen scales faintly revealed a flame god word general, which then disappeared. General armor! Activate! The golden-horned beast's eyes emitted a solid gold light, roaring softly. Rumble, the general imprint on its chest, was immediately activated. Countless silver threads immediately spread out, entering every inch of the golden-horned beast's muscles, skin, and scales. Immediately a huge amount of energy spread throughout the golden-horned beast's body. This shocking energy continued to rise, rise and rise. 1,000 times Sector Lord's strength, 2,000 times, 3,000 times, 4,000 times, 5,000 times. Pain, intense pain, the muscles on its body felt like they were about to tear apart. Woo! The golden-horned beast let out an angry roar. Even with its body's strength, it was still unable to fully activate the armor. One must know that the golden-horned beast's normal state was comparable to 30 times Sector Lord's strength. Howl, the golden-horned beast roared, immediately activating the technique deities of the world. Immediately its scales, muscles, organs and horns all began to transform, constantly compressing and increasing in density. While its body was shrinking, the golden-horned beast was also constantly activating the armor. The density of its muscles, bones, scales and horns continued to increase. It could indeed withstand the armor's strength. 6,000 times, 7,000 times, 8,000 times, 9,000 times, 10,000 times. Rumble! The golden-horned beast no longer felt any strain. The armor had already been pushed to its limit. At this time, the golden-horned beast's body had already shrunk to about 300 kilometers long. One must know that a Sector Lord's peak state was close to 1,000 kilometers long. Deities of the world has expanded by about 3 times. The golden-horned beast's strength before was already 30 times that of a normal human Sector Lord, a total of 100 times. Luo Feng nodded within. This is probably the lowest level of a normal undying. Looks like this armor was prepared for an undying. Shrink. Shrink again. The golden-horned beast too let out a roar. Its huge body continued to shrink, its muscles, bones and scales all increased in density. Finally stopping, it had already reached the limit of deities of the world. Using 12 billion points, deities of the world went from 5 times to 7. 5 times now. Easily activating this armor, TSK, 10,000 times Sector Lord's strength. This is probably the pinnacle of official level, barely reaching the Emperor level. Over 100 kilometers long, still larger than any mountain range on Earth, a black-clothed Luo Feng appeared beside the golden-horned beast. He muttered and commented, along with the first claw, and the Wu Killer Wings teacher gave me, TSK Tisk. Luo Feng nodded satisfactorily. Even though it was still a distance away from his middle stage goal, even though against his teacher True Yen Emperor, that level of being, he could be instantly destroyed. But at least the current golden-horned beast had already reached its short-term goal. Not bad. Luo Feng nodded satisfactorily. The golden-horned beast was one of his trump cards. After being taught by his primal Chaos City teacher before he left, Luo Feng didn't dare be arrogant anymore. His fortuitous encounter with the golden-horned beast was only above average, and he only gained 3 billion points. Kudi back then had over 100 billion points, hence he had to be more humble. At least the current him didn't have the ability to kill an official level undying. After collecting a set of armor, Luo Feng wasn't going to stop here. Right now his Earth body couldn't use the armor, but what about in the future? In the future, he didn't want to waste time coming here to search for treasures. Years passed. Luo Feng's Earth body roamed the Wulong starfield, constantly searching for the silver armor pieces. The golden-horned beast and Masha clansmen continued to train and improve. In the blink of an eye, Luo Feng had already stayed in the Wulong starfield for close to 60 years. He was just 3 months away from 60 years. Haha. Finally, I've finally collected the second set of armor. A silver armor floated on Luo Feng's body, his face filled with smiles. These armors get harder and harder to collect later on. The efficiency of collecting got lower and lower as one progressed. 21 years to collect the first set, 39 years to collect the second set. I've collected 2 sets of the armor, I've collected a total of 58 set. Luo Feng shook his head and smiled. That mysterious fragmented blade, I've collected a total of 9 blades. It's a pity I haven't been able to figure out what they're used for. Even though I can feel them calling out to me, I'm unable to merge them into my body. Dripping my blood is useless, and my spirit imprint is unable to merge into them. Luo Feng shook his head. 9 blades, Luo Feng couldn't understand them at all. At least with the known methods, he couldn't subdue these 9 blades. 2 sets of armor, 58 sets of armor. Adding the 2 sets from his first trip to the Wulong starfield, he had a total of 60 sets of armor. 60 years, with 2 sets of armor, my other trump card, the Bug Clan army, I've also obtained the Emperor army. Luo Feng smiled. Internal world. Bug Clan Island. Howl, a completely dark red, about 26 m tall tiger-armored Bug Clan. It seemed extremely thick and barbaric, its eyes filled with savagery. In terms of height, it was shorter than the normal tiger-armored Bug Clan by 4 m, its body had shrunk by a size. However, whether it was the armor's strength, speed, world energy concentration, they all far exceeded the normal tiger-armored Bug Clan. Emperor. Each Tiger Beetle King was very expensive to create. If they were created using universe crystals, they would need 2,500 mixed elements, enough to make a poor normal undying go bankrupt. Of course this was too extravagant. If I ordered and delivered, I could only get 1 million emperors. However, I personally came to purchase. The 5 in charge wanted to befriend me, allowing me to get double the amount. Luo Feng was delighted. Within 60 years, Alina had created a total of 1.5 million emperor army, 200,000 Emperor Hunting Army, and 200,000 Emperor Edge Army. The rest of the corpses were used to create normal tiger-armored Bug Clan members. They were still being nurtured, Emperor Army. Luo Feng was very excited. The strong all loved the thrill of leading an army. 1,000,000 Emperor Army, it was indeed very powerful and powerful. Compared to 1,000,000 normal Bug Clan army, it was tens of times stronger. A combined attack, if hit, even an Emperor Undying would be finished. Of course the chances of getting hit were very low, however with the Bug Clan Queen commanding, she naturally had many methods. I've come to the Wulong Starfield, the General Armor and the Emperor Army. These two goals have been completed. Everything is settled, it's time to leave the Wulong Starfield and head to the outer region battlefield. Luo Feng was leaving the Wulong Starfield. Naturally he was warmly received by Long Ke Emperor, Qi Yun Emperor, Hidden Spear Emperor, De Tu Emperor and Xiao Yu Emperor. They specially prepared a sumptuous farewell banquet. From our Wulong Starfield to the outer region battlefield, the shortest route is to first go to Wunyao Planet. Long Ke Emperor said, Wunyao Planet is a logistics base and also a troop transport station. The Universe Warrior Army, many lone warriors who wish to participate in the race wars, can all go there and be sent to the outer region battlefield. Luo Feng nodded. Since he had come to the Wulong Starfield, the route he chose was naturally from Wunyao Planet and then to the outer region battlefield. Thank you all for your hospitality, I will be leaving first. Luo Feng smiled and stood up. Be careful. Long Ke Emperor said. The outer region battlefield is very dangerous, be on high alert. Hidden Spear Emperor emphasized. Don't get careless. The 5 Emperor Undyings all reminded him seriously. Haha. I will definitely return from the outer region battlefield alive. Luo Feng smiled and left, sitting in a universe ship towards the troop transport station Wunyao Planet. The 13th chapter had ended, the new chapter was about to begin. Luo Feng was about to begin his journey to the outer region battlefield. That was a place where countless alien races gathered, where the strong were as numerous as the clouds. Chapter 767. The competition for the monthly votes this month is extremely fierce, and countless readers of Tomato are helping to vote and so on, but now the monthly votes are still more than 900 votes away from the first place. Tomato is now asking every reader, everyone who has read Tomato books, everyone who is addicted to the world of Tomato novels, everyone who really claims to be a fan of Tomato books at this time, on the first anniversary of Swallowing the Star, I hope you will support Tomato. Many readers are fighting. I don't want to fail, and I don't want to disappoint countless readers who support me. So all brothers and sisters, please do your best at this time and vote for Tomato. All brothers and sisters, work together. You will definitely get first place. I firmly believe. Chapter 768. Mang Niao Planet, one of the 8 large logistics bases of the human territory, it was also the fixed transportation point for the Universe Army. Large amounts of the army were constantly transported from here to the outer region battlefield. Its importance was obvious. We're here. That's Mang Niao Planet. Within the control room of the blood-colored triangular universe ship, Luo Feng was looking at the distant huge planet in space. That was Mang Niao Planet. Mang Niao Planet had a diameter of 1.028 million km. It was a man-made planet, itself a space fortress. Luo Feng, I've received the guidance signal from Mang Niao Planet. On the control screen, Babata shouted, the signal has been connected, just follow his instructions and enter. Luo Feng nodded. So, the UNMO Planet ship swiftly flew into Mang Niao Planet. Mang Niao Planet's ship parking platform. Wow, F-grade universe ship, completely made of hybrid copper essence. This ship is at least a few million mixed elements. A man dressed in silver armor exclaimed. At this time, Luo Feng flew out of the UNMO Planet ship's cabin door. simultaneously keeping the ship into his world ring. "How do you do? I'm a staff member here." The armored man smiled. Within he was shocked, looking at the mark on his forehead. He's a Sector Lord warrior recognized by the origin laws. A Sector Lord actually being able to operate such an expensive universe ship. He must have some background. Luo Feng glanced at him. The armored man's head was like a jellyfish, translucent. "I'm here to apply to enter the outer region battlefield. I wonder which way to go?" Luo Feng asked. "The universe armies all come in groups, and the lone travelers all follow this path to the gathering point." The armored man pointed to a wide transparent glass path in the distance. "This path is over 3,000 kilometers long. At the end, it's the gathering point." "Thanks." Luo Feng nodded. Following this path, every step took him over 10 kilometers. After a while he reached the end. It was a beautiful plaza, with over 10,000 people gathered. As the plaza was huge, with a diameter of over 100 kilometers. Hence the over 10,000 people here seemed rather sparse. "How do you do? Please rest here." A hairy and alluring female receptionist walked over and said. "When can I go to the outer region battlefield?" Luo Feng asked. "We need to gather a certain number of people, otherwise the logistics costs will be too high." The female receptionist smiled and said, "Realm Master, you came at the right time. The earliest batch like you have been waiting here for 12 days. After all, the gathering of lone travelers wasn't like the armies of the universe countries. When the universe country army arrived, it was grand and majestic. The lone wolves, on the other hand, have to wait for a certain number of people to gather." Luo Feng nodded. He walked to one side. There were many alloy benches in the plaza, and the scattered universe warriors who wanted to join the battle sat around. Luo Feng casually chose one and sat down. "Hey, hello. Alone?" Two similar-looking werewolf realm lords with mane on their faces walked over. Luo Feng looked up with interest at the two. With one look, he could tell that these two were Sector Lord Pinnacle warriors, and from their eyebrows, they had obviously received the recognition of the origin laws. One had to know that even though there were over 10,000 people in the plaza, most of them were Domain Lord level, only a few were Sector Lords and Universe levels. There were actually fewer Universe levels than Domain Lords, mainly because the Universe levels were weak. Very few Universe level lone wolves would specially come to the outer region battlefield. Just the long flight fees alone, many Universe level warriors probably couldn't bear to part with them. Luo Feng nodded. "Alone. Rushing alone to Mang Niao planet, it wasn't easy, right? Us two brothers took a universe ship to get here. The journey took a total of 12 years. The slightly sturdy werewolf Sector Lord smiled. Saying that, he and his brother sat on the alloy bench opposite, flipping his hand and picking up a bottle of wine and 3 cups. World energy control. After which he poured the wine and placed the 3 cups before the 3 of them. "Thanks." Luo Feng raised his cup. "I'm all right. The time spent on interstellar travel isn't as long as 12 years. The thick and sturdy werewolf Sector Lord laughed loudly. "My name is Claris. This is my little brother Buddy." The skinny werewolf Sector Lord beside was rather humble, nodding towards Luo Feng and saying hello. "I'm called." Luo Feng muttered, "Madman." "Madman?" The moment the two werewolf Sector Lords heard this, they knew it was just a nickname. And this nickname Madman was simply too common, especially in the universe armies. They rarely called each other by their real names, they just called each other by their nicknames. And out of 100 universe soldiers, there would probably be one called Madman. The two of them could feel that Luo Feng didn't want to say his real name. Naturally they wouldn't force him. "Ah, look, another Sector Lord has arrived." The sturdy werewolf Sector Lord looked into the distance. Luo Feng too looked. Another Sector Lord had indeed arrived. "Right now we've already gathered 96 Sector Lords." The skinny werewolf Sector Lord Buddy said seriously, "We're leaving soon. Every time we gather 100 Sector Lords, only then do we send the soldiers." Seriously, after 12 years on the interstellar journey, we still have to wait here. After so many years of not killing, my blade has been thirsting for blood. The sturdy werewolf sector lord said unhappily. Beside him, Luo Feng spoke casually with the two, however he didn't reveal any information about himself. Because Luo Feng was very clear, as the direct disciple of the primal Chaos City leader, there were many who wanted to kill him. To be cautious, it was best not to reveal his identity. The number of warriors in the foreign region battlefield were like the clouds. If he revealed his identity early, the danger would increase by 10 to 100 times. Luo Feng waited for a day. The number of sector lords gathered in the plaza had reached 100. Universe levels all gather here. Domain lords gather here. Sector lord warriors gather here. The gateway opened, over 10,000 lone soldiers were swiftly sorted. Luo Feng too stood up and gathered with the other sector lords, and at this time, another sector lord actually arrived, bringing the total to 101. This caused the other sector lords to discuss. The last female sector lord was lucky enough, she didn't need to wait here. Various sector lord warriors, you are about to head to the most glorious and cruel foreign region battlefield. An undying that was filled with killing intent, his entire body almost like he was made of metal emphasized. However, you must understand the army has its rules, it won't be as free as before. Luo Feng and the 100 sector lords all listened. Before we leave, we need to go through the traditional authority granting ceremony. The undying emphasized. Authority granting ceremony? What does that mean? What does it do? The group of sector lords all communicated and discussed. Obviously, these lone travelers didn't know anything about the details of the foreign region battlefield. The Undying obviously knew this. Continuing, the authority granting ceremony is to confirm your exact position in the army. The army is a place with clear hierarchy. The subordinates have to obey their superiors. Hence, we have to confirm your position and authority within the army, and how do we confirm it is through your strength. Don't tell me we have to compete with each other? Test. A sector lord shouted. Wrong. The Undying shook his head. Every single one of you will definitely be training in the Virtual Universe Network. The Virtual Universe Network will judge your strength based on your performance. This ranking is very important to your position in the army. The ranking is split into 3 levels. The first is Ordinary Sector Lord Warrior, the second is Elite Sector Lord Warrior, and the third is Sector Lord Warrior General. A large number of Sector Lords are Normal Sector Lord Warriors. To be able to gain the recognition of the origin laws, they can barely be considered Elite Sector Lord Warriors. Out of the 100 Elite Sector Lord Warriors, there can usually be 1 Sector Lord Warrior. The Undying said, I believe every one of you have displayed your strongest strength in the virtual universe. If any of you haven't displayed your strongest strength in the virtual universe, if you're worried that the authority granting ceremony isn't fair, then you can enter the Virtual Universe Network now and display your strongest strength. In a while, the authority granting ceremony will begin. The Undying was silent for 10 seconds, after which he spoke. There shouldn't be any problems. One by one come over and accept the authority granting. The 101 sector lords walked over to the Undying. The Undying's arm screen shot out a blue light, enveloping the incoming sector lord. Elite Sector Lord Warrior. Normal Sector Lord Warrior. Elite Sector Lord Warrior. Elite Sector Lord Warrior. The Undying's arm screen automatically emitted sounds. At the same time, every sector lord that accepted the authority also received the information from the virtual universe system. The higher the authority, one's position in the army would naturally be different. Luo Feng looked at this scene and was shocked within. There are so many elite sector lord warriors. In theory, normal sector lord warriors make up the majority of the sector lords. Oh, that's right, those who dare to come alone to participate in the outer region battlefields are all confident in themselves. Most of them have gained the recognition of the origin laws. The sector lords lined up and accepted the authority granting. Very quickly it was Luo Feng's turn. That blue light enveloped Luo Feng, simultaneously emitting a sound. Sector Lord Warrior. Hua. This scene immediately made the large amounts of sector lords around look at Luo Feng. Even the distant domain lords and universe-level authority granting staff of Mang Niao planet looked over with shock. Among these 101 sector lords, there was actually a sector lord war general. Not bad. The Undying looked at Luo Feng with shock, praising and nodding. Luo Feng calmly walked to the side. After that, the sector lords continued to accept the authority granting. Elite Sector Lord Warrior. Normal Sector Lord Warrior. Sector Lord Warrior. This caused another uproar in the surrounding crowd. This batch of 101 Sector Lords actually had 2 Sector Lord Warriors. Luo Feng looked over too. That was a 3m tall, incomparably muscular young Sector Lord. The light in his eyes was like 2 blades, making others not dare to look straight at him. P.S. First chapter here. Asterisk. Chapter 769. Seems like he has some ability, I wonder where he came from. Luo Feng glanced and didn't think anymore. The authorization process ended very quickly. Of the 101 Sector Lords, there were a total of 2 Sector Lord Warriors, 62 Elite Sector Lord Warriors and 37 Normal Sector Lord Warriors. Sector Lord and Universe level, the authorization process was the fastest. Even though the Domain Lords had 10 internal members going through the authorization process at the same time, it still took a long time before it ended. The authorization process has all ended. The Undying's voice suddenly grew louder, resounding within the ears of the over 10,000 warriors. All of you follow me, in a while I'll send you all to the alien battlefield. This race war has many warriors participating, hence there's a total of 11 battlefields. All of them are outside of the human territories, hence they're called the alien battlefields. You'll be heading to the 7th battlefield. 7th battlefield? All outside of the human territories. My teacher is at the 2nd battlefield, looks like there's no hope of meeting him. Immediately there were all sorts of discussions. Luo Feng thought within, 7th battlefield? The average death rate is 96.8%, it's ranked 3rd out of the 11, it's not a bad place to train. Depart. The Undying ordered. Immediately the grandiose army of over 10,000 warriors headed forward. Luo Feng and the other sector lords were naturally at the front. After a while, they arrived at a huge palace. This palace had a diameter of over 1,000 kilometers. This huge palace had 11 huge water screen-like pathways. This is the pathway to the 7th battlefield. The Undying walked before one of the water screens. The 7th battlefield is a universe secret region with a diameter of about 1 million light-years. Of course, after trillions of years of slaughter, the danger of this secret region itself has been weakened to the extreme. The main threat is from the alien races. There's a total of 100 army bases in the 7th battlefield. You've all arrived at base 026. This water curtain was 1 kilometer wide and 1 kilometer high. Hua. The sector lords entered one by one. Luo Feng too followed. The over 10,000 soldiers quickly entered. Using the God Country as a transit point, Luo Feng and the over 10,000 soldiers arrived at the God Country transit point and once again entered the space tunnel, after which they were teleported to the 7th battlefield outside of the human domain, Army Camp 026. Luo Feng stepped out of the God Country transit point and felt the space before him warp, arriving at another place. Haha, the new recruits are here. There are new recruits. Quick, 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 stop sleeping and get to work. Shouts rang out one after another. Luo Feng immediately saw a dozen white-armored soldiers. Oh, not all of them, there was even a white-haired, white-robed Undying. That Undying smiled. His eyes gleaming with electricity, he said, "Recruits, welcome to the 7th battlefield, Army Base 026. Sector Lords all follow him, Domain Lords all follow this punk, Universe Levels all follow this young lady." The white-robed Undying swiftly chose 3 leaders. The universe levels, domain lords and sector lords all followed 3 different paths. Various world lords. Up ahead is the world lord's camp. The guide spoke. Moments later, he arrived at an elegantly decorated large hall. Within it there were over 10 million seats. With one look, Luo Feng estimated that there were at least a few 100,000 sector lords sitting here. Why are there so many sector lord soldiers? Luo Feng was shocked. A universe country has a few million sector lords. The human domain has a total of 1,008 universe countries. And the alien battlefield has a total of 11 battlefields. Every battlefield has 100 bases. On average, how many sector lords are there in each base? It can't be that all the human sector lords are participating in the war, right? And in theory, there should be many sector lords going out to kill. The ones remaining in the bases should be the minority. Why are there at least a few 100,000 sector lords? The other 100 sector lord recruits were equally shocked. Hi! The leader shouted loudly. The recruits are here. There are 2 realm lord warriors in this batch of recruits. Haha. After the leader finished speaking, he turned around and left. Sector lord warlords? Sector lord warlords. The sector lord soldiers that were originally drinking and chatting, over 10,000 of them ran over. When the sector lord soldiers got close to each other, the quantum computers they carried would inform them of their authority. Hence the gazes of these 10,000 old soldiers immediately landed on Luo Feng and another tall youth. Join our elite team. Our elite team is led by an Undying. We'll get more points. The chances of surviving from danger will be higher. Our team is stronger. You too. These old soldiers were madly inviting Luo Feng and Tyrant. They couldn't be bothered with the other 99 sector lord recruits. After a while, Luo Feng and the tall youth sat at a table. Beside them sat an Undying dressed in blood-red armor, with a scaled tail. This Undying was called Taiwa, an Earth Undying. It was because this Undying was the first to personally invite them. Luo Feng and Tyrant finally chose to chat with this Undying under the invitations of the 10,000 old soldiers. As for whether or not they would join, they didn't give a definite answer yet. Captain Taiwa, why are there so many sector lords here? Luo Feng asked. The alien battlefield has a total of 11 battlefields. Every battlefield has 100 bases. Why are there so many sector lords resting here? I'm curious too. The tall youth beside asked curiously. Haha, Taiwa personally poured wine. Let's drink and chat. Madman Rock, it's not just you two. Actually, many of the sector lord recruits were curious when they first arrived. How could there be so many sector lords? If you interact with more sector lord soldiers and chat with them, you'll know the reason. Luo Feng and Tyrant looked at him. Actually, the humans in the 1008 universe countries are only a part of the human race. Captain Taiwa smiled. According to what I know, there are many continents in the universe secret regions, and these huge continents all have countless humans living on them. It's said that some of these continents have diameters of up to 100 billion kilometers, etc., and the population of a single continent is comparable to a universe country. Luo Feng was stunned. Continents? Right. The Gold Horn race lived on Lasua World. That was an extremely huge continent. Blood River World too was an extremely huge continent, and the number of warriors on these 2 continents indeed far exceeded that of a universe country. In the human territory, there are many such continents in the universe secret regions. Those places are filled with abundant universe energies, and the humans living there are almost star traveler at maturity, nurturing many strong warriors. Taiwa smiled. This is one aspect. There are also large numbers of human Undyings. In their god countries, there will be large numbers of humans too. God country humans, universe secret region humans, universe country humans, these are the ones that form the human race. Taiwa smiled. Like many of our life and death brothers, some have grown up in their own god countries, some live on large continents. However, their material lifestyles are far from that of the universe country humans, just like the virtual universe network. Only by reaching the universe level can one have the chance to enter. Luo Feng was shocked as he listened. He immediately connected to the virtual universe network and searched for information. With his authority, he immediately found everything. Humans, according to their living environment, could indeed be split into God country humans, universe secret region humans, and universe country humans. Universe country humans didn't have many people. One had to know that those universe secret region continents, each continent was comparable to a universe country, and one secret region could easily build over 10,000 continents. And the Undying's God countries were also incomparably vast, and large numbers of humans could live within. Since the universe secret region continents can sustain large numbers of humans. However, why do they still have to fight for territory? Luo Feng had wondered about this back in Lasua world. Only after he became the direct disciple of the primal Chaos City leader did he have the authority to find the answer. Wars, they fought for territory. Why fight? According to Luo Feng's information, just like how plants required sufficient sunlight to grow, the moment the plants were too dense, they wouldn't grow well. Same logic. The formation of life was very special, no matter if it was a flesh and blood life form, automaton life form, plant life, etc., as long as it was a life form, it would absorb the essence of the entire universe. Life's nurturing growth was formed by absorbing the universe's special energy. For example, within 1,000 light-years there was a life planet. That planet had 10 billion people. Then the universe energy within 1,000 light-years was used to nurture that life planet. And the universe secret regions, comparable to a universe country's population, yet squeezed into a large continent, the density of the population was countless times higher. The universe essence they obtained was naturally much less. And the God country humans. The God countries were in the crevices of space, not even in the original universe space. The universe essence they could absorb was much less than the universe secret region humans. The information stated, the God country humans, the most in number, yet they can only train to the sector lord level. Over countless years, there have only been 9,082 Undyings born. All of them had special encounters. Without them, the God country humans were destined to never become Undyings. Universe secret region humans, the second in number, they are like the universe people. They can train to the Undying level. However, to produce a universe knight, the chances are ridiculously low. The universe country humans, their numbers are the least, yet they occupy the most territory. History has produced large amounts of Undyings, and among the universe knights, 98.2% are all from the universe people. The territory was like fertile land. The larger the territory, the greater the potential of the race, the higher the chances of producing an absolute warrior. Within the large hall, among the sector lord soldiers, the most are the God country humans, right? Luo Feng asked. Right. Tai Wu nodded. Luo Feng sighed within. The God country humans probably didn't know about the secret they discovered before. After all, the chances of becoming an Undying were already extremely low. Even the birth of an Undying was extremely rare. The sector lords probably didn't realize this problem either. The God country human soldiers, their numbers are the most, hence many of the sector lord absolute warriors are from the God country humans. Tai Wu smiled. Going through life and death situations time and time again, many life and death threats, their strength will break through and accumulate huge amounts of merit points to exchange for treasures to strengthen themselves. Even though they are only sector lords, some are completely able to match normal Undyings. The new chapter had just begun. It would slow down a little. From the day after tomorrow it would continue exploding until the end of the month. And now the monthly votes had fallen to second. The competition was simply too intense. He could only ask for everyone's support. Chapter 770. The three of them drank and chatted. At this time, A Sector Lord warrior walked over, drawing Luo Feng's attention. This was a 1m tall punk. He had a cute face, there were green engravings on his cheeks. He was almost like a kid at 1m tall, however the armor he was wearing was obviously not ordinary. "Hey, Captain, did you manage to rope him in?" The short and small Sector Lord pulled a chair over and sat on it. "How could it be so easy? 30% of the Sector Lord recruits are elite Sector Lord warriors, and 0.3% are Sector Lord battle generals. To be able to be a Sector Lord battle general as a recruit, all of them are extraordinary, and extraordinary people are not so easy to rope in." Taiwo smiled, after which he turned to look at Luo Feng and Luo Feng. "Let me introduce you, I'll introduce myself." The short Sector Lord immediately picked up his wine glass and poured himself a full glass, smiling as he looked at Luo Feng and Luo Feng. "I am Captain Taiwo's leader, number 026. 208, 9491 Sector Lord team member. You can call me Poison. I'm a chemist, of course. I'm also a Sector Lord warrior." "Poison? Chemist? Sector Lord warrior?" Luo Feng was shocked. Among the strong, there were mainly fighters, spirit readers, and illusionists. There were very few puppeteers, pharmacists, and beast tamers. Especially pharmacists. It was very difficult to achieve success in any of these. Back when he was at the universe level, there was a genius in the absolute beginning region called Yufeng. He was a chemist. Chemists could defeat the strong as the weak. Chemists were opponents that couldn't be underestimated. Even gods had to be careful against chemists, because chemists' battle strength mainly depended on their drugs. Our Sector Lord team includes a total of 8 people. I'm an Undying, the other 7 under me are all Sector Lord warriors, of which 2 are fighters, 2 are spirit readers, 2 are hypnotists, and the last is a chemist. Taiwo said proudly, "Poison is very important in our team. 2 new friends, come, let's toast." The dwarf Poison smiled and raised his glass. Luo Feng and the other raised their wine glasses. "Although the 7 people under me are all Realm Lord battle generals, but after experiencing countless life and death battles, their strength broke through time and time again, and only then did they obtain the authority of a Realm Lord battle general. Only Poison. Poison was already a Realm Lord battle general when he was a new recruit." Taiwo looked at the 2. "I don't know if the 2 of you are willing to join my team. My team is still short of 3 people before it's full. A Sector Lord team like ours is definitely one of the most outstanding ones. You guys won't be disappointed if you join. Tivo is a good leader." Poison the gnome raised his head and said as he drank his wine. The tall and steady young man nodded. "I am willing to join." "Haha, good." The Undying Taiwo seemed very happy, turning to look at Luo Feng. "I wonder how about you, madman?" Many thoughts flashed through Luo Feng's mind. The army had its rules. Every participant in an alien war had a military requirement. Luo Feng too had a military requirement. Before he accumulated enough military merits, he had to join the establishment and obey orders. Since it was like that, joining an elite Sector Lord team seemed to be a good idea. "All right." Luo Feng nodded. "Haha." The Undying Taiwo was obviously very happy, turning to look at a distant corner, communicating through his divine energy. "All of you come over." Very quickly, 6 silhouettes walked over. Some were tall and sturdy, some were graceful and filled with charm, some were cold and filled with killing intent, some were smiling as they examined everyone. Among them, there was the Mother Flame clan that was more than 6 meters tall. Their bodies were like scarlet rock. They had 2 curved horns on their foreheads and a diamond-shaped crystal between their eyebrows. There was also the Mainu clan that was filled with charm and was surrounded by mist. The 6 of them walked over and pulled over chairs at the same time, sitting around. The 10 gathered. "Let me introduce you." The Undying Taiwo pointed at Luo Feng. "This is the new recruit Sector Lord Battle General. You can call him Madman." "Madman? Woo, what an arrogant title." The skeleton-like figure sat at the side, In his arms was a glossy white-furred cat. This cat's pupils were purple, almost as though it was enjoying its owner's touch. "Wei, don't cause trouble." The pharmacist, Poison, who had been drinking to his heart's content, frowned slightly and shouted, "Wei, little Chun Chen is right." The female sector lord of the Mastiff clan smiled too. "Don't call me little Chun Chen?" The dwarf Poison was a little annoyed. "You can call me Zhu Chen, don't call me little Chun Chen, I prefer to be called Poison." "Little Chun Chen is angry." The female sector lord covered her mouth and laughed. Poison looked at him helplessly, lowering his head and continuing to drink. The Captain Tai smiled at this scene, after which he pointed at the tall youth. "This is also a new recruit sector lord battle general, you can call him Rock." "Madman Rock." Tai said again, "Poison, you two already know each other, let me introduce you to the other 6 old members. Enchantress, she's an exceptional hypnotist. Sector Lord warriors that can escape from her charm are few and far between. You should know, the Mastiff clan naturally has hypnotizing abilities." That enchantress who was constantly shrouded in mist smiled too, even though it was blurry and unclear due to the mist, it added to her charm. Whirlwind, a powerful sector lord fighter. The expressionless masked fighter with pointy ears only glanced at Luo Feng and Taiwa, not saying a word. Wild Dance, spirit reader. A smiling handsome purple-haired sector lord nodded at Luo Feng and Taiwa. "God, it's this guy who always wears white armor, even though the battlefield is filled with danger. He still wears the most eye-catching white armor. He calls himself God, ha. He's also a spirit reader." Dressed in white armor, there were some silver scales on his head. His entire smile was almost like a sun. That warm feeling made Luo Feng immediately confirm that this was definitely a sector lord that trained in the light laws, and his attainments in it were extremely high as well. "Wei, it's that skinny guy who carries that stray cat. That stray cat has been with him for so many years, ever since he took it in. His strength cannot be underestimated. However, his strength cannot be underestimated. He is also an illusionist, and his soul attacks are extremely powerful." The skeletal man carrying the purple-eyed cat, Wei, glanced at Luo Feng and Taiwa and grinned. "The last one, you can call him Hammer, he's a very stable and strong Mother Flame clan member, a powerful sector lord fighter." That over 6 m tall Mother Flame clan sector lord smiled at Luo Feng and Taiwa. Poison, Succubus, Whirlwind, Berserk Dance, God Spirit, Guard, Hammer, these were the 7 members of this sector lord team. They were all sector lord battle generals. They had definitely fought their way through thousands of life and death battles. "I'm a spirit reader," Luo Feng said. "I'm a fighter," Rock said. From then on, this sector lord team had 2 new members. After Luo Feng submitted his application, he joined the sector lord team numbered 026. 208-9491. In the following days, Luo Feng and Rock, these 2 new recruits, often listened to the old soldier's experience and guidance. Even though the 2 had some background, they still listened carefully. "What alliance?" Rock was shocked. "Right alliance. The main characters of this race war are naturally the 4 great races. However, the 4 great races all have many other races as allies. Like us entering the battlefield, we'll meet many of them. Even though they are different races, they are our allies. Don't worry. The virtual universe system will warn you. If you're an ally, you'll be warned long ago. If you don't, just kill them immediately." Rock was still stunned. Luo Feng sat aside and didn't speak. Alliance? Humanity, being the pinnacle race, naturally had many subordinate races, like the Golden Horn race. Those subordinate races naturally had to enter the battlefield too. Luo Feng knew this long ago. The battlefield is so cruel, the death rate is so high, it actually exceeds 95%? Rock was shocked again. Only with a high death rate can one train strong warriors. If 20 new soldiers die, there will only be 1 old soldier left. However, out of 20 normal sector overlord warriors, perhaps an elite sector overlord warrior or even a sector overlord warrior can be eliminated. This kind of terrifying war with a high death rate, in addition to the many treasures that can be used to exchange for some secret techniques. This foreign battleground is known as the place where the human race produces the most strong warriors. And is the 95% death rate high? Not high, according to what I know. The large-scale race war that happens once every 1,000 eras, that is a huge decisive battle. That is a battle between countless experts that cover the skies and earth. Even Emperor-level undyings would be finished if they aren't careful. That's when the death rate is high, it's said to exceed 99%. However, such a large-scale battle can't be fought often. The pinnacle races can't withstand such consumption. 1,000 eras, it's within the range of the 4 great races. Large-scale battle? Final battle? When's the next one? It's still early. Rock continued to listen obediently. Luo Feng, who sat in the corner, frowned, exclaiming within, "The normal long and drawn-out alien wars, the death rate exceeds 95%, this is used to train warriors. It seems like a huge loss, but in truth it's like creating a bug clan emperor, losing large amounts of normal sector lords, creating these powerful sector lords. Their chances of breaking through to undyings will be much higher. Long, drawn-out, cruel alien wars, this is called training. And the huge battle that happens once every 1,000 eras, that is called the race meat grinder." After staying in the army camp for 8 days, within these 8 days, the new recruit Rock found out many shocking pieces of information. Luo Feng was very calm. Most of the information he found out himself. However, as for the details of the battles and survival in the alien battlefield, Luo Feng carefully listened to the old soldiers talk about it. Luo Feng didn't dare be arrogant at all. On this battlefield, there were countless foreign warriors, all sorts of killing methods and techniques, undyings everywhere, even Emperor-level undyings could fall. How could Luo Feng dare to be careless? On the 9th day, this Sector Lord team that absorbed the new recruits and expanded was finally about to set off and enter the battlefield.